Welcome to another review by RP Gamepire. I want to introduce you to a new game that has been in Kickstarter from last year. This is The Few and the Cursed. It's a board game made by Rock Manor Games, or Manor Games, and it's based on a comic book, I believe. Pretty good looking comic book, I'd say. This is the expansion of it. It's the deluxe expansion based on the comic book by Felipe Coano and Fabiano Neves. Well, gotta say they have a beautiful, beautiful taste and beautiful art. And, oh, sorry about that. This is the box. It says 90 minutes, 13 plus, 1 to 4 players. So this has to be co-op based on the comic books, okay? And a game by Mike Gnade, or Nade. Sorry if I butcher your name. A curse chasing adventure. Okay, we're chasing curses. Ooh, gotta love that. You gotta love that. Now, I always get worried when the art is so magnificently beautiful. I just hope the game, goes up to the par of this amazing art, because usually, when you bring somewhat of a license or great product, which is the comic book, which I'm going to look at the book with you very, very soon, I'm always worried, is the game up to par? So here, to bring it closer to you, oh wow, so beautiful. And I wonder sometimes who QAs or QCs the product, because here it says 60 minutes. In the front of the box it says 90 minutes. Well, at least they didn't forget this is a co-op, alright? So it's 1 to 4. So, but though I believe it's somewhat competitive too. So we'll see on how this plays through, because we're not only going to do an unboxing, but we're also going to do a semi-review with a mini playthrough, just to understand how the game works and game plays, because such beautiful games, do need good introductions. So The Few and the Cursed is a deck building adventure game that takes place in a post-apocalyptic post-apocalyptic Earth, where most of the water on the planet has been gone for 70 years. Without water, civilization just halted any progress and stayed pretty much the same, with the exceptions of the monsters, magic, and curses that showed up. Players will take on the role of the curse-chasing bounty hunter looking to make a name for themselves. Players will traverse the desert of the Pacific Ocean as they improvise and acquire new cards for the deck of their quests for the biggest bounties. Okay. So you're pretty much adventuring the desert, which happens to be the dried up Pacific. Okay, and you're on the loose as a bounty hunter, and you're chasing curses, and time to get on the looty. And here the contents are 90 upgradable cards, 42 character cards, 8 miniatures, Well, you pretty much have them all here. 4 dual-layer character boards. Okay, I like that. And 28 encounter cards, 16 cursed encounters, 24 cubes, 12 artifacts, 24 store cards, 40 job cards, and 60 water tokens, 1 game board, and a rule book. Now, that's pretty good. So let's see what the expansion adds here. Okay. So it says that the Few and the Cursed Deluxe expansion adds 2 new characters, Alistair Fairweather and Z Amato, expanding the game up to 6 players. Interesting. Alistair is another gunslinger that rivals Red. Ooh, she has competition. And detests the supernatural. Okay, who likes the supernatural? Ziamando is an agile thief who relies on his cursed form to boost his meager attacks. This box also features upgraded components and the Fallen Immortals expansion, more bounties, encounters, and additional promotional cards to mix up your play and experience with the core game. I like that. I like that when they add taste and flavor from the game. This is not a standalone game, obviously. The contents has 60 wooden water tokens, 1 metal first player coin, 5 set watch promo cards. Okay, 31 cards redhead promo deck, 1 redhead figure. Okay, promo cards are 4 wanted bounty cards, 2 most wanted bounties, 2 promo encounter cards, 2 promo cursed encounters. The 5th and 6th player expansion, 2 player boards, 20 strategic cards, Ziamando and Alistair figures, 4 white cubes, 4 orange cubes, 2 purple cubes, 2 black cubes, 2 figure base rings, Fallen Immortals expansion, 4 Fallen Immortals figures, 4 Fallen Immortal bounty cards, 3 Immortal encounter cards, and 1 Immortal cursed encounter. I like that. I like that when there's added flavor right at the start. I like it. So those are the 2 boxes to unbox together. But before we do that, I say let's check out this beautiful art. Now, let's bring it a little bit closer. I gotta say, that's beautiful. And here for the back. All right. It's a wicked world out there. And with COVID out there, you can bet on it. Strange times, strange people, and, well, I won't finish that sentence. The Art of the Few and the Cursed board game offers an inside look at the gorgeous work by concept and comic book artists to create a unique world that is as exciting as it is dangerous. Go deep into the process of keeping up with the stunning visuals of the original comic book series and explore how and why it's important to make players feel they were part of the adventurous graphic novel set in the alternate Old West. I like that. I like that. I like that. All right. Now, when you open it, your first thing, see Red. And she's a beauty. And there's obviously contents here, depending what you want to look at. There's 132 pages. This is really worth the book. Now, introduction. Let's, it's about the creators of the artists and pretty much Philippe Cagno. All right. So he writes about what was his vision and etc. and his involvement with the board game. From comics to board game. All right. So Mike Nad pretty much persuaded that, but look at the art. It's beautiful. Straight from the comics. It's all started with a short 3-page comic book story in an anthology, but Red wanted more. She wanted to take center stage in a pop culture. She wanted her own comic book series, her own board game, her own universe. Oh boy, oh boy. 321 Fast Comics, where it all began. Just so you could see a little bit better of what I'm seeing. And I'm already amazed at the art. Very good artist. Okay. Her red hair was the decision to steer away from the Sharon Stone's character, The Quick and the Dead, a film that was a huge influence on the character of her clothing. Yes, if you didn't see that movie, you should see it. All right, very, very interesting, but I like it. I like it, I like it, I like it. Look at that. Very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. Okay. A world without water. All right. So let's bring it a little bit closer, just so you could see what I'm seeing. Look at her. And it goes on, exploring the world. All right. This ain't the Old West your pa read about. All right. San Andreas, built into the newly formed San Andreas Canyon after the big one. The city San Andreas is one of the largest towns you'll ever come across in the few and the cursed. A city-state that is home to the poor and the super rich. San Andreas owns one of the few abundant water springs left in the world. Very interesting. So hence, I guess that's the point of where you start. The devil's in the details. I like that. And there is detail, my friends. So this is the names of locales, I guess. This is the expedition. Santana de Argusio. The Cursed Hangman's Tree. Mountain View. Manaolana. Ruins of Palenque. And Keola Springs. Canyons and desert. Drying up the world meant creating a whole new set of canyons, deserts, and mountains, all dangerous places and ambushes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Designing the board game. I like it. I like it, I like it. Look at that art. Very, very beautiful art. Icons, visual ID. Okay. Most wanted. Wow. The bad guys. Some came straight from the comic books. Others were created exclusively for the game and will now find themselves getting their own series of adventures, like the post-woman Laverne and her own graphic novel Shadow Nation. Okay. I'll pretend like I understood that. Curse chasing is not for the faint of heart. Ooh, I like this art. Look at that. Look at red looking into the sky. One of the key elements we wanted players to experience is how hard it is to explore the world and chase down Curse. Mike brilliantly designed a game where if you don't prep before you leave the safety of San Andreas, you won't get very far. The box. Okay, layouts. Okay, concept of arts. Oh, come on. Look at that. Look at that. Do you see what I see? Again, there's 132 pages, and I think, I'm not going to go for all of them. But you pretty much can see here, there's a little layout of the miniatures and how they look. And being Redhead who she is, I'm just going to play Redhead. But I'm going to play the other cards. Mike always envisioned the game as a deck building experience with cards representing panels of comic book. Was the perfect decision? Okay, I like it. I like it, I like it, I like it. The redhead. Look at her. Look at her. I see her in color. Death comes in red. I agree, I agree, I agree. She is a beauty. Treasure hunter. Oh, she's all that. She's a treasure hunter right here. And here, she's an expert tracker. Oh my god, look at that beautiful art. Look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that. Look at that, how the concept goes. And the detail in the art, I gotta give it to them. I gotta give it to them. And it goes on and on, as you could see. I'm very, very well. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. This is, there's some keepers and some are not keepers, but this is a keeper. This is a book to keep. Look at this beautiful art, concepts. Okay. Become infamous rifleman. Okay, what is this about? Find yourself a good job and a good living. Jobs. Okay. Uh-huh. Okay. So there's jobs here, so you can become a famous rifleman, gunslinger, apprentice, curse crow, farmhead, tour guide, post office, hardened, believer, survivor, conman, bodyguard, and Macenas, executioner. Careful camping and as easy as easy in this world. Into the wild is no easy task, as when resources are scarce, going back to the city could be the difference between winning and losing. Make sure you are always ready to camp the wild when needed. So there is canyons, there is the Hangman's Tree, the desert, the ruins of Palenque ruins. Think about your next move might be your last, huh? Alright. The upgrade deck. Again, sprint, sprint, horse dash, dark arts, treasure hunting. Alright, look, I want to show you this art. Alright. Blessings, uppercut. Again, it goes on, but I gotta say, it's a wicked world. It's a different world. Here's an old tale for you. Encounters. Now, encounters. I'm impressed. Very, very nice art. Very, very nice art. So let's see how it ends. This amazing. Oh, well, I hope she will. Alright, I hope she will. This is a well done, it's a beautiful book, and it's a keeper. And I just hope the game is as great as the comic book appears to be. So let's open this box and let's see the contents. All right. Okay. Are you excited to see what's in? Da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da. We have drum roll. All right. All right. Let's see. So let's see what this content is all about. All right, let's open it up. As you can see, it says 90 minutes here. In the back, it says 60 minutes. Okay, but that's okay. First but not least, I love that they present you first with what it's all about. Redhead versus the Crow. I love that. Beautiful art. It's a keeper. And this is the rule book. I mean, it surrounds her as a main character. Red. And quick reference. I love that. Okay, game overview. I don't like that there's no table of contents, but let's see. Game overview. Okay, we know about that, we read that, but the objective. Let's see what the objective is all about. The goal of the game is to achieve the greatest amount of grit as Curse Chaser before the game ends. You gain grit by capturing bounties, attempting encounters, robbing other players. Oof. And I thought we were friends. Collecting powerful artifacts and completing jobs. The game ends when 3 monsters are defeated. Easy peasy. All the artifacts on the board have been recovered. Hey, they won't call me, Indiana Jones for nothing here. And more importantly, or if a monster enters and destroys San Andreas. Well, we can always rebuild, buddy. The player with the most grit at the end is the winner. Okay. So it's a competitive co-op game. All right. It's like, oh, I'll trust you to go kill him while I go on some. So Although we know the contents, but this is what it is. So this is the 90 upgrade cards, 16 cursed encounters. This is the 12 artifact card tokens. This is the 28 encounter cards. This is the 42 character cards. This is the 4 character boards. And this is the 25 store cards. We're going shopping. And this is the 24 colored cubes. This is the 14 wanted bounties. This is the 4 wanted bounties. Okay. And this is the 1 game board. And this is the 60 water tokens. So 31s, 25s, and 10 10s. And this is the 40 job cards. We all need a job, right? And this is the 4 monster figures. Only 4. We can do it. 4 character figures, right? And first player marker. We gotta know who's the first. Red. And the rule book, again, with its beautiful art, tells you the game setup, how to set up your characters. Pretty much lays out and instructs what the character. So far, I don't like that there's no table of contents, but that's okay because this book only has 30 pages, and I'm just a little surprised. No table of contents, but it talks about everything, lays it out structurally, and we're gonna see that more as we talk about the review and a mini playthrough to understand how the game is played. So here's the general, but you guys just see the art. I mean, the art is just phenomenal. Okay. And the job cards. We all need a job. Shopping in the store. All right. I'm just amazed. The map legend. Okay. Well, this is the map you'll be traveling. Don't get lost. Oh, okay, so here it is. So really it's a competitive game, but there's a solo variant. Okay. And there's cooperative. Damn. And I wanted to be your enemy. Alright, this is the facts. So any questions that comes through, that may come through. And there's some card reference, which I always like. Ooh, red looks kind of scary there. And again, I love that, to see reference. So we can pretty much see the chips, tokens. And I gotta say, always the art is up to standard and always beautiful and appealing to look at. The details. Detail, detail, detail. You know? When there's no detail, your game better freaking be amazing. Oh my god. This board is a big board. Okay, we're gonna open that very soon, so we'll see this a little bit in soon. So let's see first of all what the contents. So this bags to put your tokens in. I like that. I always love that. And this are the miniature bags. Okay, so let's see what the miniature looks like. Ooh. We have miniature number 1. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. This is miniature number 1. I don't know if you could see that. Yeah, you could see that a little bit better. He's holding a rifle right here. And the camera doesn't just want to focus on him. Maybe I just go like this. And you could see a bit better like that. There you go. We see him finally. All right, buddy. That's 1. And let's see this. Ooh, I like this. I really like this. I don't know if you could see that. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. I'm not much of a painter like I used to be, but painting this will be beautiful. Look at this. Fishes and the detail in the mouth. Do you see the detail? Alright, I like that. I like that a lot. And another character. There you go, buddy. There you go, looking good. Kind of had a weird stand position. Oh, here we got another villain. We got another villain here. I like it. All right. Let's turn a little bit the light here so we could see it a bit better. And we got this. Da-da-da, da-da-da. And let's get this. Yes, there you go. The crow. Cool, neat, I like it. And look at the detail on the wings. They didn't go lazy on that. Painting this would be freaking amazing. Whoever does paint it, it ain't gonna be me. And look at her. Look at her. Whew. When she knows how to hold a rifle, you know you're in trouble. And oh, this is one ugly dude. I won't even ask who he is. And last but not least, our beautiful red. She comes in beautiful detail, and she is awesome. And those are the characters and the villains. This is for, I mean, is there 4 or no? Yeah, 4 for your characters, or you could use it from the villains actually more. But okay, so base holders, 4 color types. I don't know if they're for the characters or that. And then there is cubes. Color tubes. Let's take out one, and there's all types of colors here. Okay, so you can see there's the red, and there's the yellow or beige, and then there's the gray, and there's the blue right here. And I'm holding out the purple right here, and they look like this, and they look in very good quality. I like it. I like it. I'm very, very impressed. So far, nothing to complain. And this is our chips, and I have no idea for what. And ooh, but the quality is good. It's solid. Made in China. Okay, so this is stickers. Oh, don't tell me this is stickers. What is this? Yeah, it's stickers. I don't like that. Look at that. That even sticker moved. You see that? I don't like that. Don't like that. I don't know why they did that. That is a no. I could do everything beautiful, but again, I don't know what this is in reference to. So before I go and criticize silly, I'm just gonna say that a little bit worried, a little concerned. This one moved the sticker. I don't think it's a big issue, you know, but let's move on. So far, that's the only negative. This, I believe it's, well, I don't know what kind of card this is, but I think it's a store card. Let's see if I could open it. Okay. Okay, this is, when you don't have nails, Okay. Okay, so let's see what this cars look like. All right. Right now we'll talk about this later, so not to confuse you. Let's just see some of the amazing art. Okay, let me remove the lighting because I think it causes more of an issue than. Okay, there you go. So this is this. All right. Boots. Everybody needs boots. We got lots of boots. And this is the red potion. I don't want to ask you what's the other potion. Torch. All right. Everybody needs a torch. But red needs a shotgun. Pow. I'll leave the knife to someone else. And you need a hat. Obviously you need a hat. Come on. Gatling gun. You can't be Western without a Gatling gun. Jeez. Rip some souls. And Colt Walker. Oh yeah. The revolver. Soul of the Mojave. Alright. You need a belt? Obviously you need a belt, or else you're gonna get your pants all falling. Harmonica. And you need a jacket. She looks badass. And she's getting all the credit. I won't get into that. And let's see what this content is all about. Alright, opening this is like, I mean, some of them always have that slider, but alright. We made a breaking point right here. Let's see if we're going to build on that. Alright, we have made progress. And this card looks like the store too. And farmhand. Oh, sorry. And it goes like this. And this one is a post officer. Someone's got to send the mail. And this is a tour guide. And this is a bodyguard. Ooh. This is an apprentice. And he looks like a con man. My God, he does. And Curse Crow. Interesting. And he looks like a gunslinger. He looks like that. He looks like that old wise gunslinger. Rifleman. Oh, he looks like an angry rifleman. But I won't get into that. Executioner. She's too beautiful to be an executioner. But I'll leave it at that. Survivor. Okay. Hardened. Let's see. And infamous. I want to be infamous. I'm a believer. Make me a believer. And camp in the desert. Alright, alright, alright. And camp in the ruins. Can't camp in the desert. Camp in the ruins. Minus maesanes. Alright. Runes Apolenic. Polenic. Sorry. Hangman string. Oh, there's a hangman right there. You see that? And this is Koala Springs. Koala Springs. Looks nice. The art is just phenomenal. Taskmaster. At the end of the game, score 3 for every job you've completed. Well, better do your job or else you get fired. Alright, so let's see this one. This one. Alright. We're getting somewhere. Let's see what this is. This, I think, is a mix of the deck of cards. We'll skim through it quickly. Let me see if I can open it first. And we're getting somewhere. We have progress. This unboxing will become an unwrapping. How long can it take to? Okay, I want to see if they had a... No, they don't have. You see, that's done. Oh, they do. I feel silly. Right here, this one does have. And it's, I think it's somewhere here. Oh. Aren't you clever? No comments. And if we look here, look at that. And look at the art. Let's go for some of them. Look at that. Jebedia instead of Jeremiah. Jebedia. Redhead. Damn. I gotta say the art is above and above. You know, not to say that many of the board games I've played are not, but you could see, you know, sometimes the love that's been given into the work when it comes to certain things. Sometimes it's gameplay mechanics, sometimes it's the art, sometimes it's the story. But in this one so far, the art is impeccable. I mean, like, wow, it just stands out just for the art itself. Ooh, okay, this is the wrong way. And let's start. The Murder of Crows. My name's Hazel. It's a wicked world. I know. The rattles. The elusive. Track Tilkali. Mysterious Cave. Go north, crow south. The Hangman's Gang. My God, the art is just phenomenal. Locomotive. And as you can see, a lot of games will just have repetitive art or coloring, you know, sequence or whatever. But every art is different. Look at that. Discover treasure. I'm just impressed. And you go on and on. The Crow's Nest. Caravan of Water. And it goes on. The Madman Kids. Wendigo Tracks. Border Control. All right. The Gathas. Look at that. Can you see that? There you go. Gilda Springs Mine. I mean, it's just amazing. Adnan Tour Guide. I don't know. Smile like that. I don't know if I want him to make me surrounded. I'm not worried. Look at me. I'm swinging all sides, firing 6 pistols. I'm deadly as it can be. And this is just insert. I guess this is totally different thing. Oh yeah, this is okay. So when we do the review and the playthrough, we will discuss all this, and this I think is all similar. And then we go into the reward. All right, look at that. Look at that. How can you not love this? These are all your bounties pretty much, cursed. All right, so that's that. All right, sorry for that. Okay, so let's see this. This is... And this is... Okay, let's see what this is all about. Dark Arts, ooh. These are your abilities and skills. Your deck. All right, but we'll talk about that later. I didn't want to make a discussion, but let's see all the cards. But look at the art. This is what you should focus mainly on for now. How can this not amaze you? Again, it's going to come down to playthroughs, and I've seen games before have beautiful arts, but when you play the game, it's like, well, just let's say it's a mess. But I'm sure it looks impressive, very straightforward, and we will discuss that in the review, and then the playthrough, mini semi playthrough. But you gotta see this. You know, jack of all trades. And redhead. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Oh, she looks pissed here. Expert tracker. When she tracks you, you already know you're screwed. Alright. And let's go skip a bit here. Annabelle. Wow. That's okay. Persian movement. Okay. We got that settled. And we got, that's freaking amazing. All right, so let's do this one. The artifacts and loot. This is the jar of dirt. All right. I always like dirt. Eye of Horus. Touch of evil. Boomerang. Faith. Got a lot of it. Book of Tella. El Dorado Idol. Elixir. Oh yeah, the twins. Slicky Fang. Rustam's medallion. Pieces of crow. Sprint. Uppercut. You can. Okay, bad joke. Supernatural speed. And hidden gun. Look at that. Come on. Treasure hunting. And dodge and punch. Okay, so pretty much we get it. And this is, I mean, dark art. Look at that. You know? Okay. That's that. Okay. We'll put that like that. Not confused. And the next, and not least, and final, is the player character board. Let's check it out. Let's check it out, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. I gotta say, I love the quality. Look at that. It says here, look the way it's laid out. We're gonna talk in the review, play through about all this, all the icons. But more important, let's check this. And there's inserts right here, so you could see the insert in the slot. It's like, look at that. The quality is impeccable. All right, nothing in the back. It will be nice, a little bit a story here of the characters. That's a disappointment. You know, a story a little bit of art. You know, you've gone all out already, but that's a little disappointing. But I gotta say, you know, this is Redhead's board. You know, it's a little, that's a little disappointment in my opinion. But again, overall, impressive. Impressive. All right, so let's move this aside for now. Let's move that aside. Okay, and more important, okay, and we're gonna look at this board, like we said. Oh my God, this is a big board, bigger than I thought. Okay, so really have to move things aside. Okay, just give me 1 minute to move this all nicely on the side. All right, and these tokens can go back. We don't need them. And the reference rule book too, and this bags, and this art book. Okay, all right. This all can go back right here. Let's open this up now. I gotta say, this is a friggin' new, I was gonna say freaking, not the other word. But this is a big, huge board. It's two-sided, and we're gonna get into that later. But just look at that. This is one side, okay? Okay, this is one side of the board. And just to show you what's on the other side, it's this, okay? All right, so this is a huge board, a huge, huge board. I mean, look at that. And now let's see what's on the other side. It's pretty much the same thing, so I guess it's day and night. So it pretty much plays out day and night. Look at that. Gotta say, it's beautiful. All right, so here, look at that. I'm really, really impressed. And the art, I mean, if you could see the detail, and here you could put, it's everything is well positioned and set up in the art. The most wanted, you put the icons, it explains you what the icons are. Here's the grid count, you put your tokens on, and here, okay, so you put all the items and gear of all the jobs, etc. It explains you to buy a bullet, it tells you what the shop, because this is the shop, what you can buy. Okay, and this is the wanted. Okay, again, this is day and night. It's beautiful, a beautiful board. And we're going to see more of it once we set up the board. Okay, now let's open up that expansion, that mini expansion, but it doesn't sound like a mini expansion. It sounds like a huge expansion. So let's see what it's all about. Are you all impressed? We already pretty much read what the back has to say. Let's see what. Oh, sorry, red. Let's see. Okay, first things first, you see the boards. And again, not impressed. Very disappointed. You did such a beautiful art, beautiful work, and so far, top-notch product. But come on, it would be nice to read up a story about the characters or some comic strip. There's so many ideas you could use, but this is meh, but beautiful. Let me know if you all agree with that. We got bags, and here's the little list of contents, and it tells you a little bit of the setup and rule details, which we'll discuss in the review and the playthrough. And we got miniatures. We got miniatures. Hello, buddy. This is another red. And she look. Is this? Yeah. She looks amazing. Okay. We're enemies. Look at those daggers, swords, schematics. They look nice. And then some more of them. We got uglies. Look at that. Painting them will be much fun. And there's more of them. And what do you know? We got more of them. Okay. And now for the... Yeah, so we had one different type of red. And we have two new characters. And these are the two new characters. I think that was the other character. And this is the other character. That wasn't red. Because I think the other one that I'm holding right now is red. So this one is another character. Looks like Farmer Tom. But this one is the other card, a red. And come on. Come on. They know how to do it. More base, color bases to represent the characters. And more cubes to put in the characters. Markers. And this is tokens for currency. Water. Water. You need water. For it's the source of life. You must flow like water. Here. This is the 10 tokens. And I gotta say, they're phenomenal. If you look at them, look at that. Perfect quality. Great quality. Feels good in the hand. I have to say top notch. I'm not disappointed one bit. Okay. Gunslinger. Okay. Oh, this one has, you see, like, I felt silly with the other one. I guess they didn't do it for the small packs. I don't know why. I was sure they didn't do it. Oh, it's here, it's there. Now this gets the confusing part. Where is it? So, we spent 20 minutes trying to open and unwrap a... It's not obvious. Oh. Sorry for this, folks. I'm going to kind of scratch it here. Oh, there you go. I found it. Good. All right. All right. Look at this art. Giddy up. Guns blazing. My God, she's blazing. Ooh, Phantom jacket. Yeah, this looks familiar, this art. Oh, shotgun looks familiar. Red's hat looks familiar. Left hook. Okay, she's a puncher. And Grim Reaper. Ooh. And sprint. Yeah, it pretty much looks kind of quick draw. Okay, I like it. And let's see this. Ooh, we have, this is possibly the first player token or something, but it looks like the first player token, and I like it. It's a coin. It's a real coin. And yeah, I bet you probably want to see what it looks like. Why am I having difficulties opening things? That's the bag I don't need. In God we trust. No, it doesn't say that. Oh, oops, my bad. It says César. Ah, okay. And look at that. Beautiful. Okay, I like it. Let's open this one. Hopefully it doesn't take a half hour. Let's see what this one is. It's right here. Let's go and see what this is. Alright. Oh, there's some back art here a little bit. Okay, so let's see quickly what this is. This is the Koala Spring Mine. Looks familiar. And then it goes to the Gunslinger Red's Rage. Ooh. Alistair. This is the deck of cards for the characters. This is Armando. Okay, so this is the, in the placeholder you would put this character, and this is their, okay, we'll talk about it later, but look at that. More bounties. See, more bounties. Okay, Rapture Clan, reward. Okay, reward, last seen cursed. Okay, I like that, I like that. Alright, Raven Mocker. Fair's fair, Alistair. Okay, their deck of cards. Alright, Alistair. Look at that, look at that. There's Armando, cursed. Tourist. I want to ask what you're doing there. Much obliged. Fallen Immortals. Call for backup. Long road ahead. And I guess, look, so this is the review. This is the unboxing. The review is coming up right now, and we'll discuss that. But first, I hope you enjoyed the unboxing. Before we talked about the review, let me know about what you thought about the contents, and if any questions concerning what the box and the contents or whatever that you've seen so far. Thank you for watching the unboxing. Stick around for the review and then the mini semi playthrough. Thank you again. Let's set up the board. All right, this is the board, and pretty much it has two sides to it. Okay, and the two sides are, one is darker and this is lighter, and I'd rather show the lighter side so it's better to see the components. It's much easier to see the components. Now at this point, I'm going to start first by displaying, if you can see here, there's colored tokens on the bottom, which are this, like you see this, are representing the artifacts. So you will lay out the artifacts based on their color representation, and in this case, each one in the corners, they have their own. So when the player lands there, they could take an action and find an artifact right there. So that pretty much lays it out and displays it there. So in the four corners, you will have those artifacts. Because I'm going to play with 4 players in the playthrough, it requires 3 artifacts within each location. So the Manaolana and Mountain View and Santana de Gosusia and the Expedition, they all have 3 artifacts there. So when you land there, you can take 1. Now another thing, let's set up the encounters. The encounters, there's 2 types. There's the normal encounters, then the cursed encounters, and let me show you how they appear. So quickly, this, let's get to it, and there you go. So those are the 2 types of encounters. This is the normal one, which says versus, and this one is the cursed one, okay? The art is beautiful, and you would set it up like this right there. Okay, now let's set up the most wanted. Most wanted is pretty much, think of it where the big boss is hiding with the mini bosses, okay, or his lackeys, you could say. And pretty much this are here. Let's see if I could find them and set them up for you. Okay, here. So the 4 bosses in this base core game you will get is the White Demon. Let me take this off a bit. You get the White Demon, okay? You will require to do 16 attack to beat it, and it will be seen in the Expedition. So when it spawns, it will spawn in the Expedition, which is that location right there. And it says Expedition, so you'll know that that's the location where it spawns. The reward is 8 grit. In this game, points, victory points is based on grit. So this is 8 grit, and this is the value. So the next big boss you'll have to fight, this one you have to do 22 attack, is the Crow Prince. All right, or Crow Prime, sorry. It gives you 12 grit, and it's in Manaolana in this one. So each boss pretty much will spawn in one of these 4 locations, okay? And the way you do it is, to set it up, you shuffle it, and you will put 1 randomly in each of these 4 spots. Then the next thing you'll do is you take their lackeys, pretty much with any one of these cards, you will pretty much see it right here by its borders, okay, dark borders, dark red borders, and you will shuffle it, okay, or more specifically in the back they look like this, the icon. It would be nice if it said here most wanted bounties, kind of make it obvious, but it's not. But this icon itself is sufficient to let you know that it is. The next thing you do, what you do is you will randomly pretty much place them in these spots, and then you flip over each one. Now, for example, let's use this one. To defeat this most wanted bounty, she was last seen in the ruins. So you can't just be in San Andreas or Santa Agusa. You have to be in a ruins location, which is this kind of location. In the rule book, I believe some point near the end of the rule book, they display you the map and tell you which ones are runes or not. But this is an example of runes. This is a runes. And she will be, once your character is there, you can pretty much go and attack her. And you will require 7 attack to defeat her. And your reward will be to lower your curse by 2. And you will get 3 grit. So at this point, you can only do 1 most wanted bounty on your turn. Okay, that's very, very important to know. So you can only do 1 of them. Once you get to the bottom of it, you will then face off the monster because he will spawn in one of the locations, whichever boss is hiding beneath this stack. He will spawn, and every turn, every round I should say, he will move 1 space closer to San Andreas. If he ever enters San Andreas, the game is over, and pretty much everybody tallies their grit points, and you decide who's the winner. That's one way the game ends. I was hoping it would pretty much all the characters will be defeated at that point, because if San Andreas gets burned down, you pretty much fail in your job. But in the end point, the game ends. As we're talking about end game, there's 2 other ways you can end the game. The other way is if you find all the artifacts. Okay? All right, that's another way. And the other way to pretty much end the game is pretty much if you find 3 monsters, if all the artifact tokens have been recovered, and if the monster pretty much makes it to San Andreas. So if you defeat 3 of the 4 monsters, game over. If San Andreas burned down, game over. Okay? And now that we've spoken about that, is also let's see the jobs. Okay, so if you need a job, there's plenty of jobs being offered, and we will set up the jobs. Okay, jobs are pretty much, think of them as side quests. So if you need a side quest, you take a job, and the jobs are pretty much in that location. So anytime you're in San Andreas, you could get a job. You take 2 cards and you choose one and pretty much put the other one away. Okay, so you choose. So jobs are something like this. So think of this: 1 water you require, 1 grit. And to successfully accomplish this side quest, you need 3 movements. Now, it's not 3 movements on the board that you take action. You must have 3 movement to burn. So you burn 3 movement cards, and pretty much you will get this side quest accomplished, this side quest, which will give you 1 water and 1 grit. Nothing special, but it's worth it. Here, if you, in the Hangman's Tree, if you make a camping, if you go there and camping, you will get 6 grit and 4 water. Very important. If there's any job that you don't like or dislike that you obtained, or you cannot accomplish it, you can go back to San Andreas and sell it for its value. So in this case, this one, let's say you don't want to accomplish it, you could come back and sell it for 1 water. 1 water is the resource. Water is the resource in this game because pretty much there was an apocalypse for some reason, and all the water, like everything, this ocean dried up. This is the Pacific. San Andreas found itself, and you're exploring this location and finding curse. You're the curse chaser and curse hunter, and you destroy curses. But water is the main resource in this game, and it's, again, don't forget, it's based on a beautiful, beautiful comic book, The Few and the Cursed, and that explains the job. The stores, before I talk about wanted, the store is pretty much this stack, and it's like your items and gears that your characters, which one of the 4 characters can obtain, and you're limited to 2 accessories, 2 weapons, or 2-handed weapon. So you can only have 1 2-handed weapon, or you can have 2 different single weapons, or 2 accessories also you can have. So in this case, if you look, this character can buy this, which is, if my camera cooperates. Okay, you can have this for 3 water. You can buy this 3 boots. And pretty much for 3 water, you can buy boots. It gives you 1 movement, and it's an accessory slot it takes. So let's take another one. This one takes 7 water. It's a revolver. It takes, you see, it takes 1, it's 1-handed. And it pretty much For 2 bullets, it will give you 5 more attack, which is amazing. So the way this is set up is you put it like this. You got a torch, and you got a shotgun, and you have a knife. All right, very important. Once any card that gets discarded, then instead of only being able to purchase 3 items from the store, you can purchase 4. You can always purchase also the discarded item, whatever is on top. I like the icons. I like things that are displayed here. It shows everything on the board, and it kind of lays it out right beside the store. You can also buy bullets for 1 water, or you can increase your bullet capacity, which I'll show you later on the characters, for 2 water. And you can increase your curse threshold, which I'll explain what curse is very soon, for 3 water, and you can increase your health capacity by 4 water. So it kind of lays it out there. Let's talk about the wanted. The wanted are pretty much bounties that you could repeatedly do within your turn if you have the attack capacity. Okay, so when you set it up, you must have 4 types of wanted, and the 4 types usually need to be represented by the 4 locations that you could possibly. Okay, you know what, this is perfect, so let me explain it right here. So this wanted demons are found in the runes, and you need 4 attack to defeat it, and this is the reward you will obtain. You'll be able to trash one of your cards, meaning discard from the game, and you will obtain 1 grit. 1 grit is pretty much the winning victory points that follows the board around, and there's a maximum of 154. If you get to that point, then you're awesome. And you could flip the card over, and you could do it also, and at this point you will need 5 attack to defeat it within the same turn. So this would mean that you will need a total of 9 attacks. 4 plus 5 is 9 attack, and you'll get both rewards in the same turn. And this goes for the rest of the cards. They played like that too. So this one is found in cursed locations and canyons and desert. You'll see in the playthrough where the locations are, and I'll explain the board very soon. So you put it usually on one side right here, and you lay it out like that. And again, unlike this most wanted bounties, you can only do once in a turn, and this ones you could do twice within a turn, and in either ones you have to be in their local space in order to accomplish it. So you just can't be in San Andreas and try to take a bounty. All right, so now we pretty much set up the board, and more importantly, let's explain a little bit the board, the icons. It says here pretty much the icons for representation. If ever you have questions, there's bullets, movement, health, curse, attack, and money. The curse, you have to watch out. Once you become cursed, you get penalties in the game. So that's pretty much your hindrance that pretty much kind of slows you down and gives advantage to the players. Now this game you could play solo or cooperative. I'm not too much crazy about it. I like it more competitive because you can rob the other player and it makes it more fun. I don't think the solo and cooperative side of the game is fully fledged out, but I love the game. It has a lot of replayability. It's good factor. It's a good base. And knowing Rock Manor over previous games that I supported on Kickstarter, they will have other expansions and they will make this game even better than already great that it is, you know, to more expansion, more playthroughs, etc. So there is replayability here, especially with the stacks of encounters, etc., and whatever components that there is on the game. Now, let me speak about the characters. Oh, the board. Before I go on, if you see the boards, you follow through, this is move icon. So you need to pay the move icon here, and you'll see in the playthrough more what I mean by that. So you need to have 1 move to pretty much pass through this space, and you need move and 1 attack to pretty much pass through this space to get to the runes. So if you travel from here to here, let's say, you know, there have 2 ways you can get there. As you can see, you can go this route or this route, okay? If you want, you could pay 2 movements. I don't see why you would go this route, but if you did, you would have to pay 2 movements and an attack. Maybe you're trying to avoid another player. that could be, or you just want to get to this point, which is this the desert. So instead you could play 2 movement to travel here, or just 1 movement to end up in the desert and do whatever it is you want. Same thing here goes. Now there's also curse. If you see there's curse icons, anytime you travel through them, you get +1 on your curse. Okay, so you get 1 more curse in your penalty, so it increases your damage, pretty much your curse damage. You obtain more curse damage, and the more cursed you become, you pretty much put yourself in a possibility where you're gonna become penalized, and your player will morph into something else, which I'm gonna now illustrate. Okay, so I'm gonna choose one of the characters, which this few in the curse is pretty much surrounded and based on. So this is the character, one of them. It's red, which I showed in the unboxing. This is Redhead. Okay, and she looks fabulous. You put her on San Andreas like the rest of the other players will be. This is the first player token. You get that if you buy the expansion. Okay, here it pretty much illustrates everything. This tells you the amount of water she starts. She doesn't start with any because she is a badass, so she gets an edge compared to other players when it comes to attack. As you could see, she could sacrifice 2 bullets to get 4 attack. Okay, now she starts with 4 health. Okay, so hence why it is right here. And let me see. So, and she starts with 2 bullets, which is right here, and her threshold is 4. Her capacity, I should say. The curse, everybody starts with 0, and her capacity threshold is 4. Now, what happens if the curse ever gets to 4? She morphs, and she can no longer do this ability on the bottom, which is passive. It's not an action like some characters other players have. Okay, she will morph to something else. Okay, which is gives her usually a penalty. Okay, she usually has to sacrifice something in order to pretty much survive with that penalty. Now, at any time, if your curse goes below the threshold, you morph back to your normal self. Okay, if by any chance you get more beyond, you get cursed more beyond your threshold, you will take 1 damage of health every time. So in this case, the moment you hit 4, you will become morphed into the other side. Okay, the cursed side. If this, to be more specific, if this goes ever beyond the threshold, she will take 1 damage at this point. And if it goes even further, she'll take 2 damage, 3, etc. So you need to watch out. At any point your character dies when they're out there, they pretty much get brought back to San Andreas. You start with 3 health, but more important is that you lose grit points. Okay, 3 grit points for pretty much dying. And also you got to pay for each location. Let's say she was found here. So she's 2 locations away from San Andreas. She will have to pay also 2 water. If she doesn't have 2 water, she'll have to pay grit. Okay, so you pretty much there's penalty for dying, and you can pretty much put your jobs here, and your completed jobs here. Here it pretty much tells you can carry or 2 weapon, or 2 of one-handers, or 1 two-hander, and 2 accessories. Okay, and this is the board. Now, she also starts. This is her deck of cards. Okay, so sorry. So she starts with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Everybody starts with 10 cards, and pretty much you shuffle them, and then you create your play deck. Okay, so you'll take 4 cards, and we'll discuss more on the cards and how they play out when we do a playthrough. Okay, so she starts with 4 cards, and you can see the icons pretty much on the top left representing of what they can do, while some cards even have little extra abilities or comments on the bottom, and that will be explained once we start the playthrough. Okay, now there's the 4 characters. There's also Alistair. Okay, and Alistair is pretty much, he is quickly I will just show it to you. He starts, as you can see, he's a little different. 2 water. He has 4 health. Okay, but he starts with 4 bullets. Okay. Okay, which is a lot more. And he also, his threshold capacity of bullet capacity is 5, but his curse threshold is very low. It's 2. So he has to watch his curse hold basically, that he doesn't get caught up and gets pretty much penalized for taking too much curse as he's hunting curses down. And he can take an action, unlike Redhead, which is just a passive ability, which is not an action. He could spend a turn action to gain 6 bullets. Okay, and then on the next turn he can pretty much spam, -2 bullets to get 3 attack. Okay, he has his own deck of cards, and we're going to put the rest of the characters pretty much on the board. And this character is called Macenas. Okay, all right, and there's Annabelle, which is pretty much a kid in this game, which is amazing. And she's holding a shotgun, and she looks badass. Okay, if you could see her a little bit better. There you go. All right, so let's see Annabelle. All right, as a character. Her passive ability, so it's not an action, passive ability cannot be robbed by other players. Yes, you could rob other players in this game, which I love. Makes it more, I love the competitive side. It's more fun, and the replayability is high. And she starts with 5 water. Okay, hence the tokens. This is an expansion. Usually they're cardboard tokens, but this one is plastic, which I like. But she is very weak. She starts with 2 health. She's a kid. All right, we should be robbing her anyways, or hurting her. She starts with 2 bullets. Her capacity is not that bad. She has 4, but she can handle the curse. Look at that, 5. Not easy to curse her up. She's a good chaser of the curse, and she can play it very, very well. All right, she has her own deck of cards. She started, and I pretty much set it up. So this is the board. Any comments on the game? I would have loved that there would be more items, much more items. Also, the cards would be nice if they kind of said in the back of it, like this is the upgrade cards. This is cards that later on I'll present to you, but this is cards that characters can pretty much pick up and use in their deck immediately. Okay, but it would be nice because they use the back art, the same back art as the characters. It would be nice to know that they could be, to mention what they are, like upgrade or store. This is kind of obvious with the icons, pictures, but it would be nice if there was much more items. Okay, and the job list, I like it, but the variety, there is a variety, but it's kind of lacking. If the game drags on a lot, you'll see that you kind of have to reshuffle, and then at some point you cannot do the same jobs again. So if you accomplish, let's say there's only 8 jobs in the whole stack, 8 type of jobs, you can only do those 8, and you can never do. So if the game drags on, you're pretty much, can't do anything much other than try to finish this, which is the purpose, by the way, to try to finish this as soon as possible, which when I play, I try not to let it drag on too much. I just try to enjoy the robbing, and that's a different issue. But aside from that, it's very nice. I love the art, I love the setup, and let's do a playthrough and see how this game plays, and I hope you like it. So let's begin a playthrough. At this point, you see the 4 characters. They're ready to go and hunt the curses in the Pacific and go through canyons and ruins and layers to find them. The artifacts are all positioned. The player tokens are here to collect grit, pretty much, and you can collect up to 154. And again, like I said, you'd be awesome if you did. And here, if you see, there's a marker at the 21st grit. That is 21st. So if anybody obtains 21 or more grit, whoever is the first one to collect that much will pretty much spawn automatically the first monster in the board. It kind of spurs you into pushes you to at least follow up on one of the three possible objective scenarios where you could finish the game. And it's, don't forget, 3 monsters. 3 out of the 4 monsters, if they spawn and you defeat them, well done, you've ended the game. If you poorly defended San Andreas and got it destroyed, it's ended game. Pretty much, I think it should be lose automatically for the players, but that's a different case argument scenario. And the third one is pretty much if anybody has collected any of the 4 artifacts. Okay, so if the first player to collect it, you pretty much finish that round, you're done, you finish your turn, you pretty much ended the game, and well done to anybody that has. Now, it's pretty much easier to get the artifacts and get San Andreas burned down. Is very doubtful. You should be able to defeat it at some point, because at this game the enemies and monsters, which one thing is discouraging, do not really fight you off. So it's more about you building your deck and building that attack value and being able to cause that damage. Otherwise, the worst thing that can happen is you're not able to damage them or to kill them off. And it's always on the cards that you pick up. There's some cards that allow you to trash cards from the deck and from the hand, basically permanently from the game, so that will enable you to pick up the good cards faster. Now, another thing that I've added onto the board, what wasn't there before, which is the upgrade deck, which you're going to see that update deck, which pretty much you'll see that very soon how that works. Okay, in the round sequence phases. There's 4 phases in the round. There's the improvise, the encounter, the action phase, and the cleanup phase, which I'll explain each one by one. So let's begin. As the starting player is Redhead. Also, you see right beside each player, I have given them jobs, because everybody needs a job. Pretty much at the start of character creation, you select 4 jobs from the job, okay, job deck, and pretty much you choose 2 of them, and I've already selected pretty much 2 for each of the characters to complete. Now, as the jobs were mentioned before, this is the water and the grit you will obtain if you complete it, or you can go back to the job market and sell it off for someone else to complete, pretty much for 1 water. Now, to complete it, all you have to do is camp in the deserts, and there's plenty of desert all lying around. This is a desert, this is a desert, this is a desert, and this is a desert, and there's a desert right here. And you can camp in the ruins, and pretty much you will obtain 3 water and 4 grit. Now, the beneficial of camping is pretty much you'll be able to reshuffle your deck without going to San Andreas, and also gain 1 HP. Okay, but it will end your turn. It's an action. All right, that's her card. And his card, Alistair's card, pretty much his job to do is pretty much end game. Well, he happened to pick up very good jobs. Pretty much at the end of the game, score 3 grit for every job that you completed. So far 0. Well done. All right, we just begun, so let's not hurt his feelings. At the end of the game, score 1 grit for every 3 water you are holding. Okay, so pretty much is not bad. And Maecenas, which we didn't display before when we were explaining about characters, he's a money maker, so he's all about making money. And you can see he starts off with 12 water, but he's not that strong off, but again, at the store you could pretty much build your character up. Like, you can increase the bullet capacity by 2 water, increase the curse threshold by 3, increase his health by 4. So again, he could afford it. He starts with 2 curse, so pretty much he has to watch who he pisses off. And also he has only a threshold of 3 bullets, and he starts with 2 like most of them do, and he has 3 health. So he's not a healthy kind of guy, but he pretty much is a rich fellow. So he played the market pretty much well. His starting card is, which happens to be his name also, Maecenas. And the other card is pretty much Hangman Tree. If he goes here and he camps, he will obtain 4 water and 6 grit. He likes the grit, doesn't care much for the water. All right, so that's his. Annabelle's, on the other hand, is she can camp in 2 locations, and no different. She will obtain water and grit. She can camp in the ruins or camp in the canyons. Okay. Now there is a benefit to go camping because you get to reshuffle your deck and without the penalty of being fatigued and sent back to San Andreas. So it's like you're out there in the open in the field and you brought camping tools to pretty much set yourself without the penalty of being thrown back with fatigue. All right, so it's thematical. It makes kind of sense. All right, now let's see what happens. So the first thing you do in the first phase of the game, it's called improvise. Okay, so we're going to sound, this is a whole round for every player. So what it happens, each player takes their turn and pretty much their action, and I shouldn't say action, but their turn. And after that, we go to the next phase. There's 4 phases. So phase number 1 is improvise. Improvise for Redhead. She's the first player because she's got the first player token, as you could see right here. Okay, I love that. You get that in the expansion, that metal token. She will take 2 cards from the upgrade deck. Upgrade deck will pretty much give her more stronger cards than she originally has. So here's the choices she has. She can have Train Heist or Quick Reflexes. And right off the bat, I like Quick Reflexes because what you want, she's all about damage and attack and move, so it's not bad. So she's going to take Quick Reflexes. The other card will get discarded. Now we're going to go to Alistair. Alistair is going to also take 2 cards and see what he's going to keep. And oof, 2 attack, 2 move, and 1 curse. But you know what? He's a hired gun. He likes to, it's all about damage, so he's going to take that. And he's going to discard the other card. Alright, so let's see what Mecenas is going to do. So this is pretty much what you do for each one as you go along. This is the first phase, which is called improvise again. So Mecenas has the choice of uppercut or sprint, and right now he's not about running. He needs some fighting, but at the same time maybe he's lacking some motion and movement. So this card pretty much says that you could discard a card. You could discard this card, and obtain the 1 extra move. So instead of 2 moves, it could be 3 moves. But you discard this, it's permanently from the game. You don't have to. Okay, or you could discard this to get 3 attack and it's permanently. And you know what? Attack. It's all about attack in this game. So you know what? I'm going to give him attack at the start. Alright. So he's going to discard the movement. Annabelle, our little sweet little princess, she... Okay, she can call to darkness, trash a card from your hand to improvise again. Okay, made it easy for me. Pretty much they added 2 bullets, which is good. It's a wicked world and she's nasty herself. She can handle any curse out there. Alright. So right now, pretty much we have done it. So we improvise, we go on to the next phase. The next phase is called encounter phase. And because the players are still in San Andreas, they can only encounter what happens in town. They're still at the saloon and they're slouching around and they're deciding what is going to be their next step. So they're going to have the option of going to the job market or to go to shop. So we're going to start again with Redhead, and as she has no money, she starts with no money. If you remember, she starts with 0 water, so she's not going to go to the shop. It just doesn't make sense for her. So she's going to go to the job market and see what new job she can obtain. So she takes 2 cards and chooses 1. So she's going to take Hardened. She needs 7 health to complete it, but she doesn't care about that. She thinks the next time she's going to be San Andreas, she could sell it off for 4 water. So she's going to take this. Okay, let's discard the other one. Okay, all right, let's go to now to Alistair. Alistair has 2 water and he's thinking to himself, what can I buy? There's nothing on the market I could buy, so I'm not going to go there. I'm going to go to the jobs, and there's nothing I want to sell. So let's see if there's, can give me a task I could do right now. So let's see, Runes of Palanak, camp there. Runes of Palanak is right here, cursed area. Or you could take this tour guide, give you 4, either one I'm not crazy about. So either one worth 4 water, so I don't care which one I take really. So you know what, I'm going to take this just so I could sell it next time when I get the opportunity to. So this one gets discarded also. Moving right along. All right, so now it's Mecenas' turn. Mecenas is kind of rich and he's like contemplating, what do I do? So he has 3 options. He's going to go to the store because he can afford to go to the store, and he's going to buy the shotgun. The shotgun gives him +3 attack. It's 2-handed weapon, but he doesn't care much for that. So he's going to take it and he's going to equip it, and at the same time he's going to fill up the shop market like this, and he's not going to reset the board, and he doesn't want to do that. So he's going to pay the 9. He's going to pay the 9, and this is each of these tokens worth 5, and he's going to take back 1. Alrighty. So right there, that we're moving right along, and now he has 3 water. So what he wants to do with that 3 water, he's going to decide. Oops, this is right here. Sorry for that. It just got moved, and he's going to increase. He can increase his curse threshold, and I think he would want to do that. So he's going to pay the rest of the 3 water to increase his curse threshold by 1, because some of the cards are valuable and they can increase your curse, and you don't want to be cursed out. So pretty much he's going to spend the remaining of his water to pretty much increase his curse capability. Don't forget, he could take an action. He can take an action and pretty much and pretty much gain 7 water, okay, as an action. So he's incredibly rich and wealthy. I guess hereditary, or I don't know what's his story, but pretty much he's a water maker. And again, now let's go to Annabelle, because Maecenas just did what he had to do. And Annabelle thinks to herself, and she has only 5 water, and for some reason it's not there. I don't know why. Where was the token taken? But she has 5 water, and she's going to decide. She doesn't know if she's going to go to the market, what she's going to buy, and she's very tempted to buy this Colt walker, sorry. It's a one-handed weapon. You know what? She's going to spend her 5 water on that. So there you go, 5 water, and that's pretty good. And that will just give her an extra attack, because she needs it. Because for her, she has the only thing she could do is for 1 bullet obtain 1 attack. Okay, and this, let me show you this. She starts with 2 bullets. Okay, but she sacrifices 1 bullet for 1 attack, but with this case she could sacrifice 1 and get 2 attack. So if she sacrifices her 2 bullets, she'll be able to do 3 attack. Alright, and she'll feel tough like Alistair almost, or yeah, Alistair more like it, because Alistair does 3 attack, and also like Maecenas. Okay, she's badass. Alright, this kid is not someone to fool around with, and this fills up the store, and this brings the belt. Okay, now they're ready to move on, because they just did their encounters, and now the game begins. In a sense, the action phase. So everybody takes their action, everybody does what they want to do, and sets their plan into motion. Alright, so let's go 1 player at a time and see what each one does. So it's Redhead's turn, and based on Redhead, she's right here, we'll see what the 4 cards she pulls out. 1, 2, 3, 4, and let's see. So she has this cards, which just enable her to duplicate any card that she holds. So basically, if she wants, she can make this, instead of 2 attack, 4 attack, but by paying off for 1 curse. If it was a artifact that she's duplicating, it will make her lose 1 health. Okay, so that's the ability of this card called Cursed. Alright, but it will increase her curse at the penalty, but it will also increase her attack, or any card that she wants to duplicate. She could duplicate this card for 2 attack and 1 move, as you could see. Okay, so in this case, first of all, she'll just want to see what she wants to do on the board, and how she wants to go, and where she wants to make a run for. So she's not good with movement, she's good with attack. So if that's the case, she wants to go where it's least demanding, and in this case here, but she needs to do here, she needs to go for that, and she needs to go for here. Too much curses, and here's too much curses to get to this canyon, unless she goes that way, but she doesn't care for that. So she's going to try to get to this one if she could. So you know what, the first step she's going to do, she has a total of only 1 movement, so she can't do much. She's going to come to the desert right here, so she's going to spend this, and she's going to look here. So she's at the desert, and in the desert she can only do this, which is this wanted bounty. Last seen in the desert is the Alamo soldiers. Okay, and she can do it twice, as you could see. Okay, So she needs a total of 6 attack to do it twice. Okay. And she has... You know what? We don't need to go crazy now. So we're going to do it only once. So she didn't move once. She has the 2 attack to pretty much bring this. And she's going to flip this over. She's going to collect the 1 water and 1 grit. As you could see at the reward, 1 water, 1 grit in the desert. So she's going to get that. So she's going to get the 1 mark. And she's going to get the 1. Woohoo! She's rich. And she pretty much spent that card. That did that all. And that would end her turn. And because she has 4 cards, she does not pick up any cards. So she's good for the next round or turn without any problems. But, okay, so this pretty much gets discarded because she just used that. All right, she ends her turn. She did her turn, and that's how her turn was accomplished. And she managed to do this. Okay, and once you do it, you could do it twice, but she did only once. She flips it over, and that's what you get to do now. So she's done her turn. Now it's Alistair's turn. Alistair on this point is going to take his cards and see what he can do. And let's not forget, he picked up the upgrade of a hard gun, gives him 3 attack, and it seems like he got a lot of movements, and he got some money. So he's gonna, first thing he's gonna burn, he's gonna give me the money. So he's gonna take 2 water, and that's that. And then he's gonna say, okay, what do I want to do? I have 2 movements. So for 2 movements, he can 2 movements. He could decide to, okay, so he's going to go to the runes by sacrificing 1 movement, 2 movement. As you can see, there's 1 movement here, 1 movement here, but it will bring him to the runes, which he will go here, and he'll pass Redhead, who wasn't paying attention as he sneaked by, and he made his way to the runes, and that pays off with his Curse Chaser card. And that's 2 movements. Now he has pretty much just 5 attack, and he can go really crazy. And with this 5 attack, he can go after this one in the runes, or this one in the runes. This one lets you draw 2 cards as reward and 1 grit. And then if you want to go crazy, 6, that's a total of 10. I don't want to go that level. So you know what? Let's go with this one. This one, she pretty much, the runes need 7 attack. She will remove 2 of my curses, but to give me 3 grit. At this point, I have no curses. But you know what? I'll go for this and try to push through and get to the monster if I could possibly. And 5 attack. I'm going to sacrifice 2 bullets. Okay. And pretty much he's going to do 8 attack, which is more than what he needs to. And he will pretty much beat her. And as he beats her, a new enemy spawns, and this card's, he will use all his cards. And he pretty much discards everything on this round. And he takes the next 4 cards. All right. Okay, so now that he did that, he will get his 3 grits. And that pushes him in the forefront beyond Redhead, and he's on the loose, and he's really getting onto his bounties. Now, the next player is Macenas. Macenas is looking around, and he's going like, listen, I could lounge around, spend my money, or, you know, go out, I'll go crazy and go out there and see what I could do. And you know what? He's actually going to go out there. He's going to go on a hunt and just to see what it is all about. So this is the 4 cards that he has. Pretty much he pulled out a lot of movements. All right, and got cursed around. So you can use this curse to pretty much duplicate this card. All right. So at this point, He has 3 movements if he wants, and he can also take that curse, but he's curse threshold. Luckily, you bought an extra curse threshold, and you increased it from 2 to 3, if you remember last turn. And don't forget, he has the shotgun, so he has +3 attack anyways, automatically to any of his attacks. And he can use 2 bullets to get 3 more attacks, so he can really go crazy. So let's see where he wants to go. He's going to spend his 3 movements to come to the canyons. All right. He will go crazy. So he's going to come there. Okay. That's what he's going to do. Sacrifice 3 movements to go to the canyons. Once he arrived to the canyons, he's going to try, well, he could do, let's see what he could do here. He could do this if he wants. Okay. Okay, -2 curses and 3 grit. If he could do a total of 10 attack. Can he do 10 attack? I'll be surprised if he couldn't. Right there, he has -2 bullets for 3 attack, plus the shotgun. That will give him 6 attack. 7, 8. And he could do curse, and this removes the curse. So that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes. Okay. So what's going to happen is, this is what he's going to do. Okay. He is going to, first, he's going to do the 3 damage, okay, as you can see. And he's going to do the 3 damage with his shotgun. If you notice, his shotgun right here does 3 attack. So right there, the shotgun handles pretty much this. And now you pretty much flip this over, and if you want, you could do this 7 damage, okay? So for the 7 damage, he's going to sacrifice 2 bullets. He's going to sacrifice 2 bullets, okay? And that's going to give him 3 attack, okay? Then he's going to use this for 2 attack, which will give him a total of 5 attack, okay? He's going to curse himself once, just once, to duplicate this card, which will make, instead 2 it's 4, so 4 plus 3 is 7, if understood. And at this point, he has successfully defeated this Komachi and also the Komachi Shadows, which pretty much now removed 2 of his curse, because he was supposed to get 1 curse for using this card, but because he defeated it, he loses the curse, and he will get 2 bullets back, okay, because he even could have used the bullets if he wanted to, but he didn't. And he will get 1 grit plus 3 grit, which is a total of 4 grit. Okay, well done. And he brings it back to this side. All right, so he keeps this card only, so he gets 4 grit. So let's put him to 4, and he really did something fabulous this round. All right, that puts him into the lead. Hence why he has all the money. He's got all the brains. All right. So, 3 more cards. Refilling his stack again. And that ends his turn. Pretty much. He has accomplished his turn. And now, oh, sorry. I moved. That was a mistake. That was Annabelle. But anyways, Macenas is there in the canyons and smoking it up as he's successfully defeated the Comanches. Now it's Annabelle's turn, the little princess. And let's see what she's going to do on her turn. All right. Now, she has this ability cards, which you know cursed, it's like every player has, which just simply means you can duplicate any other card for what it can do. All right, and if it's an artifact, you lose a health. Okay, so she has 2 movement, 2 water, and 2 bullets. Oh boy, that's like crapola. Okay, so she's gonna obviously take the money. She could duplicate that, but it's not worth it. So here she's gonna take 2 water. All right. Okay, and let's not forget she has that Colt Walker, right? So let's see what she wants to do. She wants to step out there. She doesn't want to stay in town. And she also has this bullet ammunition, don't forget. So let's see what happens. So she's going to use the 2 movement to go where? Okay, she's going to go. She can't go that far. Okay, she's going to go from here. She's going to step into the canyon. All right? And she feels alone there in that valley, in the canyon. So she burned this now. She did the 2 movement. You could go there because look, the 2 movement right there that says pretty much you could traverse right into the canyon. All right? That leaves her with this cards. Now the canyon, what she can do there, she can take an encounter, by the way. She can go there and take an action as getting an encounter. But let's see if there's any canyon card. And there's here something of 9 attack. 9 attack, she gets 2 attack there. That will give her this, which 3 attack. And she's nowhere close. So you can do 6 damage in total. So this will take 10. So she could do once this. So pretty much, you know what? She will sacrifice 2 of her bullets. Okay, let's follow this. She's going to sacrifice 2 of her bullets to do 3 attack, right? Over Cold Walker, which does 2 attack, right? Her Cold Walker does 2 attack. If you're going to be able to see that, if it ever focuses in. There you go. And she has already on her card ability +1 attack. She's going to sacrifice the 2 bullets, which she did, to get 3 attack. So she does the 3 damage attack here. She'll get 1 grit and 2 bullets back. So she's all good right there. And she's going to flip this over. And she's going to get that, just to put herself on the board, she will get that 1 mark point. She's going to join redhead right there. And she's going to keep this cards right here. And she's going to keep this card. She's just going to take 1 card up right there. And that's it. She did her turn right now. Okay, so this. She did her turn. These cards get discarded. She used that. And she is pretty much there all alone in the canyon. Not the safest place to be for a kid, but hey, she's not that any kind of kid. All right, that ends that turn. So now we're in the cleanup phase. That's the final phase. Everybody did their turn. Everybody did their round. Almost completed their round. So now you could discard card and pretty much draw up to that, card. Annabelle is going to be the first one to contemplate that. She's going to discard 1 of the curse cards to draw up a card up to the 4th. And she's going to draw another curse. Oh boy. Okay. That didn't go too well. But okay. Either ways, at least she got rid of the crapola part of cards. She didn't need really the curse card right now. Not that she can't handle it, but she needs something that will give her some damage or anything else. Now, aside from that, does anybody want to discard cards? No, and nobody has to refill 4 because everybody has done it. Nobody has to reshuffle their cards. Nobody's fatigued. So, nobody has to reshuffle their deck. So, nobody's fatigued. And there's no monsters moving. And pretty much then you just pass the first player token at this point. Alrighty. Okay, we're going good. We're pretty much solid. Alright. So now the next round begins, and this round things are going to be a little bit different. Okay, so now Alistair is going to start because he's the first player, and then he's going to go to Maecenas, Annabelle, and then to Redhead. Okay, so let's start first with Alistair. Alistair will first improvise, so let's see what he obtains. Okay, ooh, I like this. This is good, but I don't need that right now. So he's going to take this one. Alistair, that's what you need. Let's go to Maecenas. Let's see what Maecenas will do. Maecenas has this, obviously. This is just remove 2 curse, and you could discard a card to remove even 2 more curses. But at this point, Maecenas, I know he has issues of getting cursed, but let's not give that too much attention. This is better, roll and shoot, and that's what he wants to do, and that's what he will do. Now, don't forget the cards go directly into your hand, so they don't go to your, pretty much your deck or your shuffle deck. Or your side deck, I should say. So this one is for Annabelle. Annabelle, -1 curse, path of enlightenment, +1 movement. You know what? This is good. Get a card and do some attack. So let's do this one, and we'll put that one right there and discard the other one. And redhead, last but not least. Let's see. And she will, interesting. +1 curse to draw 3 cards, or 4 water for. She needs money, so you know what? Let's make her a little bit of treasure hunter. You know, just to give her a little bit of money. All right. So at this point, everybody has improvised, and now comes the encounter phase. Now, because we're not in San Andres, things evolve, things change a bit. In what way? Well, pretty much now the encounter comes from there, and no longer can you go to the job market or store, because now you're out in the desert, in the Pacific, in the heat. And let's see what happens. As Alistair is the first player, he will be the first one, and he is at the ruins. And because he's not in a cursed location, all right, and we discussed which ones are cursed locations. This is a cursed location, all 4 corners. And more importantly, this one is a cursed location. Anything that looks foggy, this one and this one. But at this point, nobody's there. So let's focus on Alistair and pick up a normal encounter. And he's at the ruins. Let's not forget, for this is ruins. Okay, you can see the train wreck, etc. Burned down village. Let's see what happens in the ruins. You discover an odd symbol painted on the crumbling wall. It appears to be written in blood and is calling to you. If you're cursed, you're compelled to touch the bloody symbol and lose 1 health. Well, you're not. Well, you're not cursed in any shape or form, so you're all good. Okay? Nothing happens. You can breathe. We move on. As the dust settles, you breathe, you're all good. Mesenius, on the other hand, finds himself in the canyons, and as he's chilling there and smoking, he goes and he finds himself, an explosion just erupts nearby as a canyon entrance behind you is sealed with rock. A gang of men start rappelling down the rocks. You could sprint past them, -2 movement, and move 1 space, or take the fight to them, discard 3 cards to improvise again. Interesting. So you could sacrifice 2 movements and move 1 space to pretty much avoid them, okay? Or discard 3 cards to improvise again. So A or B, and usually you're able to do one of the other choices. As I said, if you can't do any of them, nothing bad happens, but in this case you could do one of them, and you should do one of them. And I'm thinking I'm possibly gonna make Mesenius maybe discard 3 cards. Okay, I'll make him discard 3 cards. So 1, 2, and 3. So that's going to leave him with these 2 cards to pretty much play with very soon. That's not that great, but hey, it's okay. He could live with it. So he's all good. He has managed to, and at this point, because he discarded 3 cards, by the way, he can improvise again. So he will improvise again, and if you improvise again, you take 2 cards and you select 1. So he's going to get something very soon. And he could discard a card from the hand to draw 2 cards, and that's not what you care about. I'd rather get the uppercut. It gives him an attack, and the more damage you do, the better you are for yourself out there. So he has completed his turn. He could settle back. He sits back and saddles up and gets ready to pretty much slowly take action from there on. Now it is Annabelle's turn, and Annabelle is all alone in the canyon. Let's see what she's going to do. And Annabelle is pretty much going to take an encounter from here and see what the canyons, what's happening there. Undead are chasing you through the twisted canyons. You scramble to escape and manage to duck into a cave to elude them. Trash a card to upgrade any stat. Well, so far it's not that bad. I can do that. So, trash any card to upgrade a card. When you trash a card, by the way, you're removing it from game completely. And she's gonna discard this card right here, this cursed. One less curse around. And she's going to upgrade. Whew. You know what? She's going to upgrade her health. She needs her health. Now, I don't know if upgrading your health is a permanent, permanent thing. But let's see. What is upgrade? What was the any stat? So she upgraded her health. So from pretty much 2, it is now 3 her health. Okay? So she discarded this and just trashed, not discarded but trashed. So she's no longer using this card anymore. So she has done, now it's Redhead's turn. And Redhead is over here and she's in the desert. So let's see what happens to her. The sweltering heat beats down on you as you wipe your brow. Your legs will continue to drag unless you quench your thirst. Spend 1 water or lose 2 movement during the next action phase. Good boy. Okay. So she, you know what? Luckily she has only 1 water. And she will dispense of it. So she negates whatever possible issue that she might get in the next action phase, which is pretty much now. So she's all good. So everybody has taken their encounter, okay? The only question about this is, again, the rule is not specific, but in this case, you're upgrading a stat, and one of the stats that she upgraded is her health. By upgrading her health, you can never increase the capacity of your health. You can only increase the amount that you have. So in this case, she increased it from her 2 starting health to 3. All right, so she can take a little bit more damage than usual, and I think that's what she needs, because at this point her curse threshold is not that bad and neither her bullet capacity is. So now that we finished that, the next round is called the action phase, and in the action phase, pretty much this is where everybody takes their action. All right. Okay, so it's Alistair's turn, and Alistair pretty much, this is his cards, and he's right here. He could take another encounter if he wants, or he could go and try to challenge anything within the runes. He could try, well, there's nothing there, and there's this. He could do this and draw 2 cards and do 4 damage if he wants, and he could do the 4 damage right here even though he has no bullets, or he could go back to town and try to regain his movements. Okay, you know what, he's gonna stay there, and you know what, he is questioning what he will do. He can't take much curses, so he can't really try to duplicate, because if he goes on a curse he gets a penalty. So you know what, he's going to take an action, he's going to relax. Okay, he's going to relax, and he's going to gain 6, he's going to use an action, his action, which enables him to gain 6 bullets, and he will gain 6 bullets right here. Alright, okay, so pretty much he has gained 6 bullets. He will not do anything else in this round. So he will hold on to his deck of cards. He didn't move. He's not interested to move pretty much or go anywhere. He could actually go and try to get to the desert. Actually, you know what? He will come here to the canyon, let's say. Okay, he won't do much. He will just transverse here, and he will, it's not an action because he's not going to do an action over there. He's not going to do anything there, but he's going to pay for the 1 movement and the one attack by using this, and he was going to keep this 3 cards, not the world's greatest cards. He's going to discard those 2 other cards, okay? And moving right on, he pretty much did his action. Now it's going to be Maecenas' action. So Maecenas at this point is, Maecenas is going to think about it. His plan is, because he's there, he has to look at what he has, and he had to burn a card before, remember? So, due to the encounter. So the thing is, he has a lot of damage. He could stick here, but he could go to the runes if he wants. Or he stakes to the canyon. Is there something in the canyon? He could try this for 9 damage. And he gains 2 bullets. Okay? So he could do this. He got 3 attack from the shotgun, remember? He could lower his bullets, and he's going to regain the bullets. So he has to do 9 attacks. So pretty much 2, 4, 5, and 6 right there. So in case he doesn't have to do, so 6 and 4. So he could do instead this 2 and keep this card. So okay, so what he's going to do, he's going to keep this card, and he's going to use this card, this 4, and that's 6. The shotgun gives him 3, all right? And his ability -2 is going to give him another 3 attack, right? So at this point, it brings him, okay, let's not forget, he paid for his threshold. Okay, so at this point, all right, he has done the 9 damage. He will obtain 2 bullets back, which is like a back and forth seesaw kind of thing. And he will get 3 grit. As you could see, it's 3 grit. So he will get the 3 grit, and that is the blue marker. No, he's orange, sorry. So 4 plus 3, 7 right there. Way you go. He is moving forward, unlike some of them. He's usually, and he pretty much, okay, burned this 2 cards, pretty much to do what he had to do, and this one gets discarded into the bottom of the pile, and a new one spawns right here. Happens to look like Alistair. He has a clone wandering around, but we won't argue with him right now on that. Alright, and he will take up to, 4 cards. Ooh. Next round he will need to shovel. Okay, so it's going to force him to, unless he manages to get to, and he might manage to get to, what do you call it, to Runes of Plank. Don't forget he has a, oh, it's not there. Hangman's Tree. Buddy, you were going the wrong way. Isn't that dandy? Anyways, point is, he can pretty much choose an action to camp anyways, and he could choose to camp there, and if he does camp, he can heal up and reshuffle there, so he could use an action to camp if he wants to burn an action, and in that sense what will happen is, instead of being pushed to San Andreas, he will be able to stay there, but he will lose an action, and he will be able to shuffle his cards or replenish his fatigue factor thematically. So he did his turn, and pretty much he was able to defeat one of the bounties there, and he obtained grit, and he obtained bullets, as you saw, and some of his cards got discarded. And next cards, it seems like he will have to, decide what he's going to do in the next action turn. So it's Annabelle's turn right now, and Annabelle, she is still in the canyons, and for her action, she seems to have some movement, some bullets to give her some ammunition to the damage. And don't forget, she still has that Colt Walker, alright? And she has the 2 attack, and she could draw a card if she wanted to, and she can pretty much clone a card. So what she's going to do, she's in the canyon, and she's a dead end, unless she goes up downward, or she goes downwards and tries to somehow go all the way around, which is a whole headache. Now she can spend these 2 movements and find herself in the ruins, and that's what she's going to do. So she's going to use this, Okay, look at this card again. I showed this before. You can see the dead, cowboy right there, right beside her. That's just nice. I want to ask her if she killed him, but it's not my business. She finds herself there. And now the next thing is, you know what? She will take this curse and say, I'm going to copy that card. And she'll find herself in the canyon. So, because she needed 2 movement to pretty much go into there. And she just copied it and she managed it. Because she used 2 movements to get to the runes. She uses another 2 movements to get to here. So she's going to increase her curse by 1. And her threshold is 5, which is amazing. So she finds herself there. And now that she's in the canyon, she's just trying to figure out what she's going to do. Will she attack this one for 7 attack, which gives her 3 grit. But also, more importantly, it will lower her curse back down. That she's worried about. This one does 2 damage. Okay. And she gives her 1 card. But don't forget the Colt. Colt here. She has 2 bullets right there, right? She has 2 bullets, and for those 2 bullets, each bullet is 2 attack. So right there, that's 4 attack. 4 attack, and she can get back pretty much 2 bullets. Okay? So let's do this. So she's going to use this. Okay? So she's going to lower herself to 0, and she's going to have, she has done 4 attack at this point. Okay, then she's going to replenish 2 bullets. Okay, so let's discard this card. Okay, and she's pretty much going to have 2 bullets again. She replenished, and she has 4 attack done, and she's going to use 1 bullet and pretty much both bullets, and she's going to finish off pretty much with this Colt Walker. She's going to finish off for 8 damage or 7 damage, depending which ability you used, if you know what I mean. Because you could still use Annabelle's thing, which is 1 bullet, gives her 1 attack, but it's kind of silly. At this point, use the Cold Walker, which just pretty much you did 8 damage. And at this point, you did 8 attack, and you remove 2 curse, and you get 3 grit. So her curse goes back down. Okay, she didn't use this card, so she keeps this card. And she did the damage. This flips over. She gets 3 grit. Not bad, Annabelle. Not bad at all. So she's going to go from 1 to 4. Well done. Okay. She has moved on the board. This gets discarded. And we're going to try to replenish her cards. So we're going to take 3 cards. And that's her next hand deck. All right. Annabelle. All right. So that pretty much finishes her turn. And just to confirm something, yes it is. She ruled to curse. Okay. All right. So now that we finished, now it's going to be Redhead's turn. And Red is right there. And she's wondering, like, where is everybody and what they've been up to? She's been there chilling in the desert. And she's the baddest of them all. And now she has to make a decision. She has to take down a curse. And she has to end this very evil that's wandering around. So she could take a curse and get 4 water. And right now, water, this is not essential to her. And she will just focus. Okay, there's 3 damage she can do here, and plus her ability -2 bullets for 4 attack, so she could do a total of 7 attack if she wanted to. She has no movement whatsoever. She's right here, and you know what, she's resting there, and as she rests and decides to rest, another encounter just spawns on her, and without her paying attention, out in the desert, the rival gunslinger arrives at high noon outside of San Andreas to settle the score with you. It shows the wrong one, buddy. You count off 10 paces and quick draw. Discard 2 cards to upgrade any stat or fumble -1 health. Okay. I'll discard 2 cards and upgrade 1 stat. I can live with that. I can live. Okay, it's discard. It's not trash, which is good. So if that is the case, let's see what she's going to discard. You faced off the wrong person. She's going to discard these 2 curses. Okay, that pretty much duplicate a card. All right. Actually, you know what? She's gonna the treasure hunting and the curse. She's gonna keep one. Okay, and she's gonna discard the other one. And the stat that she's going to increase is her. She's going to increase her. She's going to increase her ammo capacity by 1. So she did what she had to do. That ends everybody's action phase, and then you're going through the cleanup phase one by one. If anybody wants to discard or draw up to 4 cards, okay, or pretty much if they do, they have to return to, if anybody shuffles, they have to return to San Andreas. If there's no monsters, and the first player token moves on. So let's go one by one. First of all, he has only 3 cards. Alistair needs 4, and that's his 4th card. And pretty much he's drawn up to 4. He's okay. He doesn't need to shuffle his deck yet. He's also 4 cards. He doesn't need to. He's fine. And she's fine. So everybody seems fine. And 3 cards. She needs to take 1 card. And that pretty much another curse. Great. All right. Did I put the other curse that I took down on the bottom? Yes, I did. Okay. So now that everybody did that, pretty much the first player token goes to the next player. And it's Maecenas that's the first player, and he's the first one. So now pretty much we've understood on how the rounds go and the phases within the rounds. So we know that now it's improvise. So pretty much improvise will be the first action. It's Maecenas is going to be the first. All he's going to do is pretty much take 2 cards and choose which one he's going to keep. There's movement or there's bullets. And I tell you something, bullets can save you a long way. So he's going to keep the bullets and he's going to discard the other card. Now it's Annabelle's turn. And Annabelle, for her improvise, she gets a choice to uppercut. How you can. Or she can pretty much armed robbery. She's not that type. She's going to take uppercut. And she's going to discard that. Okay. Don't forget it goes straight to their hand. So it doesn't go into the discard. Into the discard pile. Alright? Or their hand deck. So this is pretty much what ridiculousness red hand gets. Redhead, I mean. And it's +2 curse. Cost of darkness. Trash a card for your hand to improvise again. Oof, well, okay. Pretty much she's going to take this. Not that she wants it, but okay. Alright, aside from that, now that that's all done, we did the improvise. Now we're going to do the encounter phase again. So the encounter, pretty much nobody's in San Andreas. Everybody's still out there in the Wild West hunting in the Pacific Desert for that curse as they're looking for those monsters that everybody has been speaking of that's threatening San Andreas and the layers wherever they are. As they search, the first encounter will go to Maecenas, and you find him still smoking in the canyons. So let's see what happens to him. An explosion rocks your body and leaves a ringing in your ear. Rocks start falling around you. You sprint out. So you sprint out of the gorge and move to an adjacent space, but realize that you lost something. Discard an unscored job along the way. That's something I could easily do. That's not a bad penalty. I can handle that. Okay. Luckily, I'll pretty much lose this. Oh, sorry, that was Alistair. Oops, my bad. I'll pretty much discard Maecenas this one. Alright. And he will find himself kind of moving to the left and made it easy for him, and he'll find himself here. Now let's move on to the next one. Annabelle, who is right here also in the canyon, she will see what happens to her under the sunset. I mean, in the sunlight. The hot sun casts long shadows along the canyon's wall. You see what looks like a silhouette of an old well. You decide to investigate and discover an abandoned well. You can pay a tribute to the well, discard a card, and -3 curse, or drink from it and +3 water. Okay, discard a card, -3 curse. She has no curse, she's okay. And drink from it. I'll drink from it and I'll gain 3 water. So far, I'm not stressing. Okay, so she's gonna gain 3 water. Alright, let's see. 3 water. 1, 2. Oh, sorry for that. 2, 3. Alright. Okay. Now we're gonna go to Redhead. And let's see what happens to Redhead, who is still in the desert under the scorching sun. Let's see what's going on with her. The desert heat plays tricks on your eyes. You believe you are in the midst of an oasis. Discard 2 cards to overcome the mirage and improvise again, this turn to suffer from heat exposure -1 health. So, or pretty much discard 2 cards to improvise again, or else you suffer 1 health. So let's see what she's gonna do. So let's see the cards she got, and recently she got a very ridiculous card. So she can easily discard this card. She needs to discard 1 more card, and she'll discard this card. Well, pretty much wasn't difficult to choose. Alright, she'll discard this 2. Okay, and at this point, if she discards those 2, she will improvise again, which is not bad at all. Just to read that correct. Alright, so she will improvise again, so let's see what happens. And in her mirage, she saw something great. Trash a card from your hand, okay, and get 2 cards. Not difficult, I won't even bother to even put a thought to it. +1 attack, +2 move. She got that in her hand. She is awesome. Now, Alistair is all there in the canyon, as in his midst. From the distance he can see the mountain view, which is within his reach, and let's see what occurs in the canyons. You can't shake that feeling that you're being hunted. You decide to stay awake and keep a watch. A group of kids show up and start searching through your things. Will you spring from the shadows and scare them off? -1 attack and improvise again this turn, or let them take some of your things. -3 water and -2 curse. No, I'm gonna scare them. Listen, I shouldn't be going with people's things. So I'm gonna scare the kid away, and let's see if I got the 1 attack that I could use. Let's see, Alistair. Can you use 1 attack? 1 attack, but that's gonna pretty much. Well, he got 6 bullets. You know what? But that's burning things. So you know what? I'm gonna burn this one, and pretty much put these cards. And I did scare off the kids, so I'm gonna be able to improvise again this turn. And let's see what Alistair gets. Everybody seems to have double improvised. The blessing removes some of your curses and concerns. And this one +1 curse to lift 3 cards. I'm going to take this and see how it benefits. And as you can see, we're moving along. And now that we improvised, and I mean, we've done the encounters, it's kind of confusing because everybody pretty much improvised again. But because we managed to improvise, then we did encounters. Now it's back to the action phase to see what everybody will do on this turn. For the action, let's begin with the action phase. Let's begin with Mecenas. And Mecenas, who is at the runes. Let's see what he holds, and we'll see what he does. As let's see. So he has movement, he has bullets, and he has money. Well, no problem. He'll take some money. And alright, that burns this card. And then moving right along, yeah, he needs movement, so he has this 3 movements right here. So let's see. Interesting. So this is perfect. He's gonna burn all this 3. So he's gonna burn the 1 movement and the 1 attack with the 2 movements right there, which gives him a total of 3 movements. And he's going to travel through this path, which is 2 movements and 1, and we'll bring him right here near the layer of the artifacts, which is Santana de Agustosia. And at the same time, when he's there, he's going to, instead of doing anything, he's going to pretty much bring these cards back, and he's going to discard these cards, okay? And he's going to take an artifact randomly from here. He's going to take this artifact, and this artifact is, let's see what it is, let's see what it is, let's see what it is. It is, oh wow. So this is the artifact that he has obtained. In the end of the game, it will give him 4 grit, but right now this is the card. Every time he uses it, he can get 3 movements, 1 attack, and 2 water. It's the Book of Tella. Alright. So he has that in his hand right away as he obtains it, and he is currently very good. Well, did he discard these cards, or do you just put it back in his pile? Oh boy, that's interesting. Oh boy, oh boy. Huh. Okay, I just did the mistake. And, okay. So this is supposed to be discarded. And this, only 3 cards in his hands. Okay, because he pretty much used all the other cards. Okay, just reaffirming that quickly. And yeah, this is the water. This is the water that he used, and that's that. Okay, so pretty much here. And now this forces his hand to shuffle because he's gonna have to take up to 4 cards, right? And he doesn't have enough, so he's gonna shuffle, right? So he's gonna shuffle his deck. He's gonna shuffle his deck, and but he managed to successfully obtain an artifact, so end his turn right there, which is not bad at all. Macenas did a job well done. All right, and he's gonna take the next card. All right, and this, let's not forget that he reshuffled. So meaning that when it comes to the next phase, which is the cleanup phase, he will pretty much find himself in San Andreas because he over fatigued himself, and he just pretty much got to travel back because he couldn't handle the warm desert out there and the hot sun. Now Annabelle is not that far away, and she's right there, so let's see what she's gonna do. So she has, well, she can attack, she can do all sorts. She has 1 movement and the attack, so you know what, she's gonna pay it. She's gonna go and do this. So she's gonna use this 1 move and 1 attack to pretty much come where Macenas is, okay? And she's not going to really attack him, but instead look for an artifact. So she's going to put this back. So her action will be to take an artifact. All right. So we're getting some artifacts getting done here. And she took this token. Let's see what this is all about. Okay. I will admittedly say there's nothing that special. Gives her 2 grit, but she gets her to pretty much draw 3 cards. The Eye of Horus. Not bad. Could become a lifesaver in certain scenarios, but wasn't nothing wowee. So she did her turn. Now it's Redhead's turn. And let's see what Redhead is going to do. Also, oh, forgot. that right now. Let's see what Annabelle has, and she has 4 cards, so she's all safe. She doesn't need to pretty much do anything. So Redhead's is turn, and let's see what Redhead has. All right, attack and some movement and a cloner. So let's see, Redhead is right here. Doesn't look too good for her because she can't do much. And this is Annabelle's cards to be discarded. Sorry about that. All right. So let's see what she's going to do. So Redhead has an option. She can go right and try to reach there, but here's too much curses in the pathway. Just it kind of derails. If you see, she has to go here, then all the way around here, because there's no clear path from here to go here. See, there's no path. So she has to go all the way here to just get this. So she's in a bad position. So I don't think she's going to bother with that. Instead, what she's going to do, she has only 2 movement, but she can clone it, and she can take a curse. But she can go pretty much, she can get 4 movement, 1, 2, 3, 4, and bring it right herself. Yeah, so look what she's going to do. So this card, if you notice, the roll and shoot is 1 attack and 2 movements. She's going to use this attack to take 1 curse and clone that card, which will give her 4 movements and 2 attack. The second attack is irrelevant. What she's going to use is the 1 movement here, second movement here with the attack, and the 3rd and 4th movement to land herself right here. Okay? And that pretty much settles that card. This will go back, and this goes back. And when she's going to arrive there, okay, when she arrives there, she's going to take the 1 curse. And when she arrives there, she will take 1 artifact, and she's going to decide to take this one. All right? She took this artifact. All right. Let's see what this is all about. All right. So, wow, this one is not bad at all. For 5 victory points, in the end of the game, she gets to use this card for 2 attack, 2 movements, and 2 water. It's a good card. Goes straight to her deck. And her deck currently has 3 cards. She will fill it up with 1 more card, and she gets another one of this attack. So it's not bad at all. She did well. And now we're going to go with Alistair. Alistair. Let's see what he's going to do. And Alistair is not far from Redhead, and let's see what he has. Well, he doesn't have any movements. He could use this to pretty much force himself to get more cards and reshuffle. And he has this to clone any cards, so it's not pretty much, nothing special. He could use this to get cursed and water, and really nothing special. So he could always discard at that phase and then try to reshuffle, and then he's going to send him back to San Andreas. You know, I don't think he's going to have it any better. So, you know what? He's going to just, instead of doing anything, he's going to take another encounter. And you could take another encounter, by the way. And that's what he's going to do. He's going to encounter again in the canyons. So he's going to do a regular encounter because he's there. And let's see what happens. As he lays there low, you find an injured man around the bend. He tells you that he took a nasty fall from the cliffs above and that he would pay you to get him out of here alive. You can help him, -3 movements and +5 water, or rob him, +2 curse and +5 water. All right? And leave him to rot. You help him, -3 movements and +5. Now this is one thing. If you cannot do either, it's okay. There's no penalty for not being able to accomplish this. Unlike the cursed encounters, you 100% have to complete it. There's always an option that you could do. In this case, let's go with Alistair here for a second. Okay. He, pretty much, if you look at his 4 cards, okay, it says that pretty much 3 movements, okay, -3 movements and 5 water, okay, to help him. Okay, so, yeah, so the issue is, So I think this is the way it meant, if I'm correct, that you pretty much aid him in spending 3 movements and he will give you 5 water. And in this case, you rob him, you get 2 curse, but you get the 5 water still. And you leave him to rot. At this point, you only leave him to rot because you can't do anything to help him, which is a really sad issue. So at this point, nothing happens. And this encounter was just a dud. And you let the poor soul die. Not something you would do usually, but whatever. Now, he could have gone here and instead accomplished the Ruins of Planet because he has this, which is a job there to rest, and he could have rested there. But instead, you know what? It's going to be a little different. Everybody played their turn. Everybody played their action. Now it's the next phase, which is the cleanup phase. So anybody that wants can discard cards and then replenish to 4 cards. If anybody shuffles at this point, they pretty much have to go to San Andreas. Now we know that Mecenas did that, right? He shuffled this deck, right, to get this 1 card. And Mecenas will find himself back at San Andreas. Now, let's see at Annabelle. Annabelle didn't shuffle her deck, and she's fine. If she wants, she can pretty much stay there. And you know what? Her cards are not bad. So you know what? She will stick around where she is. Okay? And let's see. Redhead. Redhead is, she has this 4 cards, and she's pretty good. She's okay where she is, so she's not going to go anywhere. Now, for Alistair, on the other hand, he will shuffle himself because he's going to discard these cards, which are just totally useless. These 3 cards right here, if you notice, they're nothing but plenty of curse. If he can trash them, he would. Okay, so he's going to shuffle, and then he's going to find himself in San Andreas because he's just totally fatigued. He did all he could do. He exhausted himself. He couldn't even save the poor soul and let him rot out there in the canyons. A guilt trip. So 3, 4. Okay. And he's going to take this. Okay. And he will find himself back to San Andreas. Okay. And at this point, everybody has done their turn. And the number 1, the first player token, we'll pretty much pass on to Annabelle. She becomes the first player. And right now that we declare that, we will play another round, the final round, but it gives you a glimpse of how the game is pretty much overall play. Very important to note, a player can never have more than 1 of a particular artifact. So that means Annabelle just obtained the purple artifact. Okay, she cannot or no longer obtain that artifact, and neither can Mecenas. So if they want another artifact, they have to go to the other corners like Expedition or Mountain View or pretty much Mana Olana. Okay, and that goes the same story for Redhead. Okay, so now that we did that, Annabelle is going to go and play her turn, and which is the improvise phase, as we know. So we're going to play the improvise. So at this point, here's the improvise. She has the option of 2 movement, 1 card, or she has this. You know what? At this point, she's going to take the gallop. It looks good, and movement, everybody needs it. So she's going to pretty much discard this one. Now we're going to go to Redhead. Let's see what Redhead gets. She gets this option. She can get more water, but she needs this. So she's going to keep this because it's good attack and movement. And right now, it's not about the water. It's about going out there and getting that grit. We want points. Alistair, on the other hand, what he's going to do, he gets the gallop too, and there's no question about it. Add a card and also get to move. You know what? It's okay. I don't need a blessing. I don't feel holy anyways. All right. Now we're going to Mecenas. Last but not least, he has the option of, supernatural speed. That's so unfair, but he gets that. There's no question about that. We're going to give that to him. And right now we're ready to play, and we're ready to have the next encounter. So Annabelle's first, and Annabelle is in a cursed location. Now how do we know that? As specified before in the map, as you could see, it says the third, anything with number 3 is cursed. And if you could see here, she's right here, and it's a cursed location in Santana de Gosucia. So she's right there. She's going to take a cursed encounter. So let's see what happens to her, and we're going to see the first time how a cursed encounter pretty much occurs. Adnan tour guide. I tell you, I don't like his smile. He just rubs me the wrong way. Even Annabelle is a little turned off and worried. So she has a choice. She could pay 5 movements and explore the tomb for 4 grit. She can play 3 movements and open the coffin for 2 grit, or she can ignore it and pay the man -3 water. She's got the water, and she can ignore it. She has to choose one of these options, because all options are viable. Should be viable. I mean, at this point, that's even questionable, because they always say that you must be able to accomplish it. So, let's see what are the pretty much option that she could take and she would want to take. Would she want to spend the money, or she would want to do something else? Whew. Well, the movement she doesn't really have. Okay, because the most movement she has is +2. And the money she has, so she's going to sacrifice the water. So she's going to pay the 3 water. So she's going to pay the 3 water, and she pretty much avoids this encounter, and she successfully avoids this creepy tour guide. So now that we did Annabelle's turn, we're going to do Redhead. And Redhead finds herself in another cursed location, and we will see what occurs with her. Now she is, the Mapman kids. You need 5 attack to brawl with them, and you get 3 bullets, or else 3 water to buy a map and move to any ruins. Interesting. Or you get sucker punch and you lose 1 health. One of these 3 options should be viable. Interesting. Bullets. Or you go to any ruins. She doesn't have money, so this is not an option. She might lose her health. Let's see, she has 5 attack. So let's see what she has. This is very interesting. 1 attack, 3 attack, 5 attack. So she has the 5 attack needed. Interesting. So she's going to pay the 5 attack. So this is the 5 attack right here, as you could see. And okay, she paid it, and because she paid the 5 attack, she'll obtain 3 bullets. Alright. Okay, she's right on the threshold, and that's pretty much what Redhead did. She had to deal with this weird family. Now we're going to Alistair, and Alistair pretty much, let's see what's going to happen to him. He is right now in San Andreas, and he's going to pretty much, he has 4 water, and he's pretty much, he could sell off the job, but he won't do that because that's something he can accomplish. For 4 water, what can he do? He can buy a knife, which will give him 1 more attack. You know what? Seeing all these options, we're going to discard this. We're going to discard the store. We're going to put it in an order that we would want. And you know what? The best thing that's out of them all is this, the +1 bullet. So if anybody wants in the future, you put it on top. And now let's see what the store will provide. Oh, another knife. How exciting. Oh, boots. Movement is always good. And another torch. So the best thing out of this, he's going to spend his 3 to get 1 extra move with his accessory, which is always good. Okay, and that will add to the store a knife. Oh, how awesome is this? I'd love to meet the person who shuffled this. Now, let's play. Oh, sorry about that. We got the 3 water going here. This is the 3 water. It is paid, and Alistair has his boots. Okay, so he's going to put the items right here. It doesn't matter where, as long as you know what they are. And he has his 1 movement, and he has completed his turn. Now, last but not least, is Maecenas. Maecenas is wondering what he's going to do. He already has his shotgun. He looks at the store and he says, not interesting after what Alistair told me. Or I could go there and reset the store, but debatable. I have only 2. So what he's going to do, which is awkward but amazing because he could do that, he's going to take an action via, oh, but that's an action. He can't do that right now. This is an encounter phase. Interesting. My bad. So instead he's going to go to the job. He's going to go to the job. And he's going to look here. He's going to go, ooh, I want to become famous. You need 9 health. And that's not happening. And executioner, you need 10 bullets. Well, he's a rich guy. He can pretty much manipulate it by buying his way with it and really making himself kick ass. Which one? But this one is good resell for 5 water. So you know what? I'm going to discard this, the executioner, and I'm going to keep, right ahead. They're always looking good. Alright, so he's going to keep this one right here. So that keeps that. So nobody did really anything exhausting or amazing, I would say. And let's go to the action phase. In the action phase, it is Annabelle's turn. And Annabelle is going to look at what her options are. And she finds herself still in Santa de Gossicia. And she has all this as a viable option. She can really do something. And nobody has been bothering here. Right now, there's this one. Oh, this one is from Santa Agustas. If she can do it, this one is at her location of Annabelle. If this kid feels like a superstar, which she is already, she can pretty much gain 1 health and 6 grit, but she needs 14 attack against this creepy Bartholomew Umus. Alright, butcher the name. Hopefully I butcher him. Now she has no bullets. That's not a good start to have the conversation. And neither does she. Okay, so no bullets right there. But she can pull 3 cards. So she can really go crazy. But she needs 14 attacks, so that's not going to happen. Okay. Now she can also be in this one she could do, which is a cursed location you need to be, but you need 13 attack, and that's not something she can do right now. So she's not in the desert and she's not in the expedition. So what she's going to try to do, she has a 2 movement and she could draw a card, and with this one she can draw another 3 cards. So think about it. So 2 movements and she needs an attack. Okay. So you know what? She's going to use the 2 movements. And she's going to draw a card. So she's going to use this card and this card, which will give her the 1 attack that she's using right there to move out, right? She needs 1 attack to move out of here. So let's see what she's going to do. So 1 thing at a time. So she's going to spend the move to go out. She has 2 movements, okay? And pretty much she's going to use that 1 movement, 2 movements. She's going to a curse location. She's going to take a curse and she's going to pay the attack from here, and pretty much she's going to draw 1 card because she is allowed to draw 1 card. She's going to take this one. Hey, she has her boomerang, okay, and she's going to gain that 1 curse for pretty much crossing this path. You see there's a curse right here, so she already paid. She has still 1 attack extra right here, and now she's in this Koala Springs, and let's see if she can go camping anywhere, and she's pretty much out of cards. Okay, so she can camp there, but camp in ruins or camp in the canyons, and she's neither. So what she's going to do, she has 1 more movement of curse. She can take another one if she wants to, but if she draws 3 more cards, she will pretty much find herself in trouble. So you know what? She's going to stay there, and that's a cursed location. Alright, and she finds herself there, and let's see what she can do over there. The thing is, then she can try to come to a ruins or canyon. So she needs extra movement so she can take that card. Just trying to think here. So you know what? Let's play it out. So she's gonna go and she's gonna use this to draw 3 cards, which means she has to reshuffle. Okay? So she's gonna shuffle the deck. Okay? She's gonna reshuffle the deck. Alright. Sorry, just let me. I hit it so many times. All right. And she takes 3 cards. 1, 2, 3 cards. She was shuffled, so now she's going to be penalized when we go to the cleanup phase. And she takes the most ridiculous cards, but she got movement here. So let's see what she could do. Okay, so let's remove this out of her pile of cards. And she has 2 more movements. So she's going to use 1 more movement to come here. And she's going to take another curse. Okay. And she has 2 movements. So you know what? She's going to do something ridiculous. And she paid this. She has 2 movements, right? So she used that 1 movement to go pretty much there. She has still 1 more movement. So she's going to pay this to duplicate that card. Okay? And by the way, you could have duplicated an artifact, but you get 1 health. You lose 1 health if you duplicate an artifact. So she's going to pay another curse right here, bringing herself to 3, where she duplicates this, which gives her the 2 more movements that she needs pretty much to go in there. And she needs 1 more attack, which she doesn't really care much for, and she will pay for it. But she got that 1 attack right here, which was never dispensed or used. Okay? So she doesn't really need to dispense, but she finds herself here. And now that she finds herself here, she's going to do pretty much look at an artifact, and she did kind of quickly once she got there. And let's see what this artifact is all about. She's going to put aside this 4 cards. Okay? But don't forget, she shuffled. So she will find herself in San Andreas very soon because she exhausted herself, but she did something amazing. And she got the jar of dirt. Oh boy. So she can always burn this card to get 2 grit. And in the end of the game, she gets 2 grit anyways. This is kind of a good card. You know, it's kind of a spam. And with the cards that she has, if you see in all these cards that she burnt, she has cards that pretty much can pull out cards. So she can always redraw it and burn cards. And just to get it. Again, it's only 2 grit, so it's nothing out of this world. But, hey. So, okay. So let's see. These artifacts go away. And now that she did her turn, let's see what, which is amazing, let's see what Redhead will do. And Redhead find herself here. And she can't take another artifact because you're limited to 1 per area. So Mountain View is pretty much locked up to her. She can take, if she wants, an encounter there. But she will pass on that idea. So let's see what she has. And she has only 2 cards because don't forget what happened to her. But she has some good cards because thanks to the artifact, which gives her 2 attack, 2 movements. And she still has a lot of bullets. Don't forget. So 3 attack right here and 3 movements. Okay, forget about the water. And draw 2, if you use this, draw 2 cards and discard 2 cards. Yeah, I don't have 2 cards to discard. And neither do I want. And you must do this if you're going to use this card. So this is going to be interesting. So she wants to come here. She's going to come here to the canyon. Okay. She's going to try to come to the canyon. Because you see there's no path going this way. Okay. There's no path going this way. So she's going to use this card. Okay. It's going to give her also 2 water. So she's going to come here. She's going to use that. And she has 2 attack, which she kind of burned up. But she doesn't really care. She's going to grab the 2 water. Okay, you see how the game flows? Right now we're kind of slow. We didn't pick up any grit. We didn't do anything kind of, you know, great. And camping ruins and camping desert. So she doesn't have that either one. And, this is 2 movements. She used that to get there. So she's going to chill there for now. And because she's chilling there, she'll take her 4 cards. She'll fill up her hand deck of 4 cards, and pretty much she will have this, and she's okay for the next round. Okay, so let's see how this plays out. So because she used this, she's gonna just go and instead do another encounter in the canyon, or she's gonna try to pretty much, no, she already picked up her cards. So she's going to just do the encounter there. Usually you should wait to pick it up, but she's just going to simply leave it and do the encounter. So let's see encounter at canyons. This sweltering heat beats down on you. As you wipe your brow, your legs will continue to drag unless you quench your thirst. Spend 1 water or lose 2 movement during your action phase. Huh, okay. Well, lose 2 movement in the action phase. Well, pretty much I'm done with my action phase. So pretty much it's irrelevant. I don't need to take it. Doesn't affect me in any way. So I'll just burn the card. Okay. You don't have to do it if you don't want, because you don't have to pay the water. You don't have to move. In the rule book, it's kind of, it's not a must. And if you don't have to or you can't, well, you don't have to basically take an action. You could take the penalty, whatever it is. And in this case, if thematically one would have to play it, I guess you'd say spend 1 water or lose 2 movement during your action phase. Well, my action phase is pretty much completed because this is my action phase. So I pretty much don't lose any movement because I'm not going to use any action this turn to move. So it doesn't make thematically because you can double encounter. So in this point, I don't think it's relevant. Please leave me a comment if you agree or disagree, or let me know the rules specification on this, but I'll play it as such. Now, let's play with Alistair. And Alistair quickly will, who is in town, he will decide now that he has pretty much restocked. He has movement, and he hasn't done much. He has done much, but let's see where he can go with this. So he's going to do this 3 movements, and he's going to run himself. 3 movements. So 1, 2, 3, and he finds himself. No, 1, 2. Let's see. Let's go this way. So 1, 2. Let's see how much movement you need. So this is 3 movements. So 1, 2. No, can't go this way unless you go the other way around and you take some curses. So it's really a drag. Like you can see, there's no pathway directly here and there's no pathway directly here. So it kind of complicates things. But let's say he goes from here to here and he's going to land himself. He's going to use this cards. 2 cards will give him movement, 3 movements, and he's going to find himself 1, 2, and 3 right in the canyon. And he needs to draw a card, and he will do that. And the card that he draws is this. Oh, great. And he has to pay 1 attack or takes 1 damage. You know what? He doesn't mind taking the damage at this point. And he's at the canyon. In the canyon, what is he going to do with all this card that he has? So he's going to spend this to get some money. So money's always good for whatever reasons, because you never know. Even in encounters, you can get a little messed up. So he's going to look. He's going to go, what can I do to pretty much better myself? And he has right now 4 attack, and he could duplicate it, and he has all his bullets, so he can really spam and destroy something. He finds himself at the canyon, so you know what, desert expedition, something. He can't do anything here. That's really sucked. But he could do this canyon. Okay, he could do this. So we pretty much give him reward of grit. Okay, and this lowers his curse. So let's see what he could do. So this one needs 3, and this one needs 7, so it's a total of 10. Okay, so he's going to use this. This one will give him extra curse, but there's no reason to use this one. So he's going to use this one. Okay, and because he has 6 ammo, okay, if you look, -2 to get 3 attacks. So he has 6 ammo. All right. So what he's going to do is, he's going to give me 3. So he's going to use 4 for 6, 7, 8. So he needs 10 in total, right? If you're following me. And he's going to do this to increase, he's going to get 2 more water, but he's going to increase his curse by 1. But he's going to do all the needed damage right now. So pretty much he has 10 damage right there. And he will get 1 and 3, so 4 grit. So he's going to go from here, which is 3. 3 plus 4 is 7. So he's going to be right where Maecenas is. Not bad, not bad, not bad. And also he lowers his curse. So whatever curse he took, he's all fine and dandy. And he gets 2 bullets. So he's back at 4, and he's all good again. So this goes right here again. And this is the only card that's pretty much left in his hand. And he will draw up back to 4. Okay, pretty good. And this all gets discarded. So let's do Maecenas' turn. And Maecenas is pretty much at this point on his turn, he's just going to do 1 action, and this action is very simple. And if you notice right here, he's going to go and do what he can to gain 7 water. So he's preparing himself, to go on a shopping spree. And if he has to, he will pretty much 7, 7, 7. On the next turn, or next round, I should say. That's pretty much what he's going to be doing. And that's pretty much it. He's going to put his money right here. And everybody took their action in the action phase. And now we're going to do the cleanup phase. For the cleanup phase, we remember that Annabelle, who really, really has been doing well when it comes to pretty much obtaining artifacts. And she obtained 2 of the 4. And she's not bad at all. She's on the good move. Aside from that, she shuffled, so she will find herself back where she is, back at San Andreas. She really exhausted herself, and this girl was awesome, but she learned a lot of what's going on. Now, anybody that wants to discard cards, they could, or, and pretty much if there's any monsters, which are not, and the first player token will pass back to Redhead, and pretty much we're back to Redhead. And we've seen how pretty much how the game plays. It's kind of very happening. You can see there's a lot to it, but you could see the focus there's a lot things, a lot of options, a lot of variety, and that's not to take away from what this is or that is or the option. Again, me playing the 4 characters or just to illustrate what are those characters, what are their abilities, this, that. Nobody has gone to the level of curse, so you didn't see anybody pretty much live with his penalty, and those characters could have a penalty, but it's not that detrimental in the sense of the game, because I can see the game is very, I won't say easy mode, but it's very laid back, but at the same time it has its little challenges. The only thing I don't like is the monsters, or I should say the lackeys, because they're not necessarily monsters, some of them, and I really don't like that this guy Alistair Fairweather is right here, but I won't discuss that. But aside from that they don't do anything to you, they don't counter. The only thing that I liked, which was at some point, which is this one, the immortals up here, and pretty much you have to handle them, otherwise you can't pass through them, so they're like road blockers, and that's very, very good. So I like the game. The Few and the Cursed, buy the comic books, check it out, look at the art. She's beautiful. Redhead will be really upset. She'll be coming for you. Now, aside from that, the game itself, I would recommend it, in hopes that they do more expansions and they really solve and resolve on how the behavior of the monsters, and more important, the lackeys or the bounties, etc., and how they play out and how the behavior is. For now, currently, it feels a little bit lacking in a sense, and I feel like things flow, but nobody feels that dread or the threat that comes pretty much there, that forces you to take actions based on certain behavior. I didn't rob anybody, not because I didn't want to, but pretty much I wasn't there, because there's certain requirements and guidelines to be able to rob. You need to have pretty much twice the amount of the attack of their health, etc. So the value needs to be 2 times the amount. If I remember correctly, to be more specific, it says to rob, you must have attack greater or equal to than twice opponent's health. And also you will gain 2 curses for robbing a player. And more importantly, as an attacker, you gain grit and water equal to the amount of the health of the opponent had. Okay, the opponent player also pretty much loses 1 health, whoever got robbed. I would love instead that you also rob them of their artifact or something, or they drop a card, or it's again, this game opens up to possibilities and in expansion that they make modification or reassess certain rules based on the new expansions, etc. But without having to take away anything or adding reassessing new packs. But I don't like that. Build your attack level, attack. Okay, you did good, thumbs up. So it's a race of building your attack, which is pretty much taking the upgrade card. They could have done more. Either way, it's great game, great art, and it opens to possibilities of something great. I'll give them a thumbs up. All right. I hate putting points in rank like 8 on 10 like some, or 7 on 10. It's irrelevant. It's more, you saw the game, hope you like it. If not, I hope the reasons are laid out and they make sense. And more importantly, hey, my opinion, I would give the game a chance. It's a good game. And you know what? Knowing Rock Manor, there's going to be future expansions, and they will hopefully better these games with all the reviewers and reviews that people have given them their opinion. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, and remember, always have fun.